Hello, everyone. This is the Witless Weebs podcast. I'm not Silver. I'm Luden, and I have my
He is.
co-host, not Luden, but Silver. Silver,
I'm
say
not.
something.
I'm saying something. Hello.
I'm I,
Uh,
I I completely butchered that intro because I.
you're good. You're good. You're good. You're
But
good.
okay, just for
Uh,
as a heads up, Cheetan, the Japanese mascot, just liked my tweet. I just
yeah. So
wanted to
Luden's
let you
famous
know.
now.
I just checked my Twitter and that was the first thing I saw. So, um,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Phenomenal news. Luden's moving up in the world.
Yeah. Um, that was a
But I guess
loud
we should get
car.
into it. Yeah, I could hear it
Holy
too.
shit. Um, okay. Hello everyone. To episode 4 of the Witless
So,
Weeps podcast. Yeah, we should be on episode 4, right?
huh? Yeah, we're on episode 4.
Okay. Um,
Unless you want to like, no, yeah,
yeah,
we're on episode 4.
we should be.
We
Um,
shouldn't tell them about the secret
about
fourth episode that we did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Too personal. Too much drama.
Too much
We
drama.
said some things.
Yeah, of
Called
course.
out some
This is
YouTubers.
actually episode 4.5 because
Yeah.
yeah. um at first I have to apologize if you hear my fan in the background. I'm sorry, but it's extremely
I don't
hot
think it's
and
coming through.
yeah, I also don't think because it's standing quite a bit away. But like yeah, I just want to tell you that if you hear the fan, it's because it's really hot outside, and I
And
can't live
apologies
without
if
it.
I cough. Apologies if I cough. I'm still kind of sick.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Uh, but do you want to kind of maybe not introduce what we're going to start off with, but like just introduce what we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, of course. We went on a little side tangent immediately, so yeah,
Yeah.
we want to talk about our favorite games today. This is a gaming
Yes. This is a
episode.
gaming episode.
Yeah,
Jinx. You,
yeah, Jinx. Yeah, it's the gaming episode, and we made a list of our top 9 games.
know me. Uh, yeah. Today gaming episode will be. I think you cut out for me. Were you talking right now?
I was talking, but I think you also cut out for me, so um,
Okay, that's unfortunate. Great way to start.
yeah.
But yeah, this is the gaming episode. We will be talking about some of our favorite games, doing a game within the game episode. Got to get a little meta with it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, Ludi, do you want to start with yours, or
I
do I start with
I can start with mine. We start from bottom from top to bottom like with
whose do you think will have more to talk about?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I have like a few ones that are pretty fast to handle, so um but I don't know.
I'm
It's
pretty sure you're going to have some takes about mine. So
I'm
mm,
I mean sure. Maybe.
no, I'm like 60% sure you're going to be like, what is this? Why is this here?
I mean my
But I
list
don't know.
also has
We'll see.
my list is pretty like I'd say normie. Like I
Yeah.
it's
We
not
should, we
and
should,
most of the things are to be expected, but I think my number one spot isn't expected. Because it isn't what you think it is.
so it's not Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I can take that away. It's not Kingdom Hearts. Um,
Okay.
but we can like start like I can
By the
start with
way,
mine. Yeah.
I didn't do I didn't do my list in order.
Oh, yeah.
So mine are just kind of placed randomly.
Okay.
I can give you somewhat of an order because there's some on there that I was just like, I'll put it there because I don't know what else to put.
I
Can you want to explain to them what our lists are though?
what do you mean?
Like our 3x3?
Um, I mean, we don't have it in a 3x3, I guess.
Oh,
Or do you have?
I did.
Do you
Yeah,
did it in a 3x3? Oh,
yeah.
I just made a
I
list.
I
Like,
I guess I could have explained that better than that's on me.
okay.
Okay, then I guess we can you could do one. I'll share my 3x3. We go over one of the things on my 3x3, then we go back to you. Does that sound good?
We can, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So you want to start with your ninth then?
I can. Yeah. Um, the first game or the last game, depending how you want to see it, on my list,
Ninth place.
ninth place, yes, is actually maybe a bit surprising for some people because it's like a game that not everyone has on their radar, but it's Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, the first Mario and Luigi game RPG.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like I said in the first episode, I haven't played any of them.
yeah. Oh right, we have talked about those games. I
Yeah,
remember.
we did talk about Mario and Luigi because they announced new ones, like
Yeah,
right
they
before the
announced
first episode came out.
Brothership, I think was the name.
Something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, Brothership, I think was the name. And that's why we talked about it. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. It's a
mhm.
good game. I
Yeah.
like the first game the most because I think it's for me personally the most charming. I'd say.
Mhm.
Um, and like it was really fresh when it came out. I also like the story a lot in that game.
Yeah.
And I
Does
like
Mario do Mario games have a good story?
the RPGs usually do. Like Paper
Hmm.
Mario, like the first two or the first three Paper Mario have a good story,
Yeah.
and the Mario and Luigi games usually also have a good story. Like
Cool.
and I think the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is really refreshing because the main setting of the game is I don't know how it's actually called in English, but I think it's the Bean Kingdom. It should be because it's like Bean Kingdom but German in
Probably.
German.
I know. I know they use Toad Kingdom for the toads
Yeah,
in English,
yeah.
so I think Bean Kingdom would check out.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's like the neighboring country, and
Hmm.
they go to the bean country because like the story is basically some evil witch from the bean country has stolen Peach's voice, and now they want to get Peach's voice back. So they chase her into
Hmm.
the kingdom or whatever. And yeah, it's really cool. I don't want to spoil too
Yeah,
much
sounds fun.
because if
Uh,
you or
it
if people actually want
it
to play the game,
it is an old game. I don't think spoilers matter too much, but yeah, you can.
yeah, but still, I think it's a charm if you don't know what to expect. It's
That's fair.
it's very like not Mario like I
Yeah.
think, and also the comedy in that game, especially like visual comedy, is really funny.
Hmm.
Like it's a really funny game. Um, and I just like timing based games, and the battle system is like it's round based but still
Hmm.
timing based. Like,
Yeah.
and that's I really think that's cool. Um, I it's just charming. It's a game I've played like in my childhood a lot, and I still replay
Hmm.
every once in a while. Like I think 2 years ago I actually bought it again because I didn't have it. Um,
Yeah.
anymore, so I bought it for like $3 or something, like really cheap. Um, and I have it again, so I can play it whenever I want. And like,
Surprised you were able to.
yeah,
Surprised you were able to find a game that old that cheap.
it's
Because.
a Game Boy Advanced game, so and I think other than like Pokemon games, normally Pokemon Advanced games are really cheap. So
I just have experience with the Pokemon games when it comes to old Nintendo stuff,
yeah, and they are
and
like extremely expensive.
yeah, they're expensive for no reason,
Mm-hmm.
which is why you emulate.
Yeah, true. But like I wanted to have the game again, so
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
and hot
Plus,
take,
you got to cheat.
yeah, I also got a cheat, and I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I
Hmm.
really prefer the original Game Boy Advance game over the 3DS remake because like I do like the newer art style from the
Hmm.
3DS era and onwards for the Mario and Luigi games, but I think the old pixel art style is more charming to me. I like that one more. So I prefer playing the old games a bit, especially like I think the comedy comes off better in the older games than in the new with the new 3D models.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's. I'm going to assume that's a fair take. Again, I haven't played the games.
yeah. I
Uh,
don't think like there's bonus stuff. I know that there's like a
yeah,
second campaign without Mario and Luigi with
mhm,
like Bowser's minions and stuff in the
yeah,
3DS version. But
sounds
I
fun.
think aside from that, there are no like actual changes or like quality of life improvements. So I don't think there's any benefit to playing the 3DS version except for it looks different. Um, yeah.
Mhm. I typically prefer like more modern graphics in games. I don't hate the older style and like how they were made, but it's just not my preference.
I just
So if
like
I were,
pixel art.
that's fair. I am neutral.
Hmm? I think you just cut out. I think he's still cutting out. Silver? Hello? Huh. And we
Okay.
are back
Uh,
again.
yeah, we're
Silver
back. We're back. We're back.
Silver had some Wi-Fi problems. So
Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. But yeah, I was just saying that I do typically prefer the 3D art style to the pixel. I'm not against pixel, it's just not my preference.
yeah, I
And
I
yeah,
can I can understand that.
I think it's just because it's mostly because I didn't really grow up on pixel, so I also don't have nostalgia with it that much.
Yeah, but
I
like
play, I played,
pixel art is just really charming to me. I don't know. It's
yeah. I think that part of it might be nostalgia. Maybe I think some people also just like it too, though. So I don't know. Uh, but I've never really understood the appeal, but I get it. It's older people like that. People like what they like. I'm not
older
judging.
people like that. That sounds like I'm like 50 years old.
Luden, you're a boomer already, don't you know?
Yeah, I'm I'm a
But yeah,
teaser
that's. I don't remember the name of the game. Uh,
of my game.
what was it called again? Yeah,
It's
your game.
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Or is it
Okay,
just
that
Superstar in English? I don't know. Wait, let me check that.
probably probably the same. I don't know why they
It
changed.
isn't. It isn't.
Okay,
At parts like
I stand
it's
corrected.
because like um wait a second. It is still called Superstar Saga in English.
Okay.
I think.
Well, do you want to get on to a game from my list now?
Yeah, we can go to your list now.
Okay, I will send you my list because I made it as a three by three, and you can just pick whichever one you want to discuss off there.
Let me
Uh,
check.
I'd say probably pick one. I sent it in the general on accident, but it's there.
Yeah, let me quickly um
Pick whichever one you want to discuss. I'd say probably pick the one you want to discuss the most last, though.
that's interesting. That's an interesting list. Um
Yeah.
like there are a few debate points, but it's an
Hmm.
interesting list.
Yeah. So
Um the
which one kind of interests you the least
the least.
or the most? Do you think it'd be better to do the most or least first, or like somewhere in the middle?
I there's one that interests me, like just a slight
Hmm.
bit, but I think we can talk about it quickly. So,
Okay.
um, I picked your like I pick it for you so you can say what it is.
Yeah.
Second row on the left.
Okay. Second row on the left.
Yeah,
Is it an anime game? Just to confirm.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So my second row on the left is probably my oldest game here, I think, and it's
Yes,
one I
yes.
played on the PS2. It was my favorite game on the PS2. Played it all the time, and it is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Love
Yeah,
that game.
yeah.
It's such a fun game. I'm so happy, so hyped for the Sparking Zero
I'm
game to
same.
come
I'm
out. This
so hyped.
gives
Like
off the same vibe.
I just have one question. Why two,
Mhm.
not three? Because
Uh, I just don't remember. I think I got 3 right before I got my PS3, and I kind of stopped playing it as much because I switched to the PS3.
Oh, I see. Because like I think
Uh,
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think like Tenkaichi 3 is like the same game as 2, but like better in every
yeah,
regard.
no,
um,
I just have more memory with 2.
yeah,
I
but 2
played
is
it
also
with my
good.
cousin all the time.
Like I also like 2. 1 is
Yeah,
also good, but like I think 1 has more flaws because it was their first like 3D arena fighter. So
yeah. I did 1 come out on the PS2,
yes,
or was it
yes,
available? Okay, then I
yes.
think I played that one too.
I
I
think
enjoyed it,
I think even
not
the
as much.
Budokai, like the 2D games, I think they also were
Yeah,
all on the PS2 already.
I played a lot of Dragon Ball games as a kid. I was you know what? You want to know something interesting? I was debating putting this or guess what other game? What other Dragon Ball game?
Please don't say Raging Blast.
No,
Okay.
Xenoverse 2.
Oh,
Uh, I have a lot of hours
I
on that game.
I
I
also
still
have a
play it.
lot of hours. Like I don't I don't like Xenoverse 2. Like
I wouldn't say it's a great game,
yeah
but I love it.
yeah like I don't as same as you. I wouldn't say Xenoverse 2 is a good game, but I also have like 600 hours on that game,
Same.
and I have like
I even played the tabletop thing that they added to it not that
Jesus.
long ago.
Like I also have like at least 200 or 300 hours in Xenoverse 1. So
Yeah.
if you combine them, it's actually absurd amount of hours
Yeah,
for
no, I don't know how many hours I have on either game. I also played one, but I got 2 right when it came out, and I played that
yeah.
game a lot.
I
I was debating
pre-ordered
between these 2.
I pre-ordered Xenoverse 2 because I remember I think you got
Mhm.
something. You got something as
It was
pre-order
the power
bonus.
pole. I think you got a power pole
Yeah,
and
but
it's free skin.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Um and like I pre-ordered the
Or
game.
was it Nimbus? I think you also got Nimbus too,
Yeah, I think you
like
also
to
got
ride on.
Nimbus. Yeah, yeah. Nimbus and the Power Pole, I think. Like
Mhm.
at that point I wasn't like old enough to buy it myself. Or like
Yeah,
I could have bought it myself, but because it was
yeah.
online and stuff,
Mhm.
pre-ordering, I had to convince my parents to pre-order it. And like
Yeah,
I think there
I
wasn't there
got
also a DLC that came with the game,
they've come out with a DLC. I played through the DLC. It's okay. It's fun.
but like
It the
wasn't
story's not great, but it's fun.
like there are a ton of DLCs, but like wasn't there one to release? Like a release DLC?
Oh, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
I don't remember. Anyways, I was hyped for that game. But we were talking about
Yeah,
Budokai Tenkaichi 2.
yeah. We were
So,
talking about Budokai Tenkaichi 2. It's I just have more nostalgia with this game, even if I probably played it a little bit less than Xenoverse 2.
yeah.
Simply because it's a game I played with my cousins a lot. Anytime I had the chance, I'd go over to my cousin's house and play it with him. It's just a really fun game that I have a lot of nostalgia with.
I
Uh,
totally
so
understand
yeah,
that. And like
that's why I chose Budokai Tenkaichi 2.
but that's also a game I really love. So,
Mhm.
yeah. I can definitely see why um
That and one other game, I 2 other games on here. I am probably not going to get too much uh cringe for, not just from you, but like anyone else who might watch.
hmm,
Some of these picks might get people a little be like
I don't
question my taste.
I think it's only two and a half that are questionable.
Mhm.
But like yeah. And that's like all of the games on the right. I think all of the ones on the right are the ones that are
Yeah,
like
we can talk about top right next if you want when we get back to my list
we
because
I don't
I have some things to explain about it.
um the funny thing is let's wait
Yeah, no,
two more
wait
because
to
like
yeah.
um
Okay,
I also have one from that series on my list.
okay.
Okay.
So,
So um my next, oh, like, are you finished with Tenkaichi, or can or want?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
move on. We can
I'm
move on.
sorry. I stuttered like an idiot. Um,
It was my nostalgia pick, so that's really the only reason I had behind
yeah,
it, and it was fun too. I'd probably still go back and play it if my PS2 worked.
yeah. It's a good game. Like I played
Yeah,
Tenkaichi. I didn't play Tenkaichi 2. Did I play Tenkaichi 2 outside of like at friend's house or stuff? I don't remember. Like I only played Tenkaichi 3 and I played that one a
yeah,
lot. I played Tenkaichi
mhm,
1 with my brothers also really, really a lot. And I
yeah,
played Budokai 3, like the
mhm,
2D game.
yeah.
Also really, really, really a lot. Um, yeah. But like
I do
good
have
game.
one memory. I do have one memory with Budokai 3, if you don't mind me going on this quick little
Yeah.
rant about it.
Go for it.
So, Budokai 3 was the one with like the top. I think a lot of them had a tower system, but I think Budokai also had one, like where you fight someone, go up a level, and then if you lose, you get knocked out and you have to start back from the bottom.
Did have Budokai 3? Did it?
It was Budokai 3 or a different Dragon Ball game, but I
I
think it
don't
was in
think it was
Budokai 3.
Budokai 3.
Okay, I was young, so I
Because
do
I
get
don't
the
remember.
games.
I don't.
Yeah,
It could be like I could be tripping, but I think
yeah.
I don't think
Okay,
Budokai 3 had a tower system.
well then it was one of the Dragon Ball games. I think it was Budokai 3 though. I could very well be wrong though. But quick rant about that tower system. One time I was playing through it and I lost a pan on like the fourth level, and I
Mm-hmm.
would always get stuck on the fourth level. But for some reason, anytime I fought Pan, I would lose. So as a kid, my cousin would bully me because he was older than me, and he was like, "You're only losing to her because she's a girl." And that's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's just one memory that like always stuck out to me with that game. I
I
don't know
can.
why.
uh,
I don't know if it's that game specifically, but it was a Dragon Ball game.
I mean, while we're at it, I can say, or like I can put my Dragon Ball hot take out here and
Mhm.
say, fan hate is kind of forced. I
I
don't
don't
think
get why
she's
people
that
don't like
bad.
her. Yeah,
Like people hate. Like I get why people hate her, but I think
it's the association with GT. I think
But also, I don't get why people hate Chi Chi. Like that's
GT. I said not Chi Chi. I also don't
oh
get Chi Chi hate though.
oh yeah, okay. Like yeah, you meant the robot, right?
No,
No,
GT the
G
show.
GT. I like oh there was
Yeah,
a
I think that's why
wasn't there a
people don't like
robot that
Pan.
had like a name that like
Yeah, his it's
was it?
Giru.
It was some. I'm so stupid today. Like
It's Giru in
Giru.
English. I don't know what it would be in German.
Yeah, yeah. But like yeah, GT had some major issues, but like
I enjoyed it. It's not great, but I enjoyed it.
I also enjoyed it, but like it's not great.
Yeah, you'll find that's my policy for a lot of the things I talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of same. Like, there are a lot
Quick,
of, and sometimes you just like bad things. Like
yeah, that's fair.
one of those examples I only talked about today on Twitter.
Uh
It's
huh.
do you know the movie Hoodwinked?
Yes,
Yeah, that's one of those examples. That's one of those things. It's so bad, but it's one of my favorite movies, just
I
because
remember loving that movie's vibe as a kid. I don't remember much from it though.
it is like like the writing is genuinely really clever in that
Uh huh.
movie and some of the jokes, but like the animation is god awful. Um,
Hmm.
but I still really love that movie.
That's fair. Yeah, I think we both just kind of like stuff despite their
Yeah,
good or bad attributes,
yeah,
which I think is a lot of people.
yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to move on to your next
I can move on.
game?
Yes. My next game, I can. It's just I just briefly touch on it because we talked about it on last episode, and it's Crash
Yeah.
Bandicoot 3 Warped. Yeah, I I don't think I have to say anything about that game because I
Yeah.
basically
I'd
covered
say
everything last week. Two
keep it
weeks ago.
quick. Anyone who wants to hear Luden's detailed thoughts on that, go listen to the last episode.
Yeah, yeah. That's basically that's basically all we can say, or like all I can
Yeah.
say, because I don't want to repeat myself. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I haven't played it
it's a
still.
it's a good game. It's just a really
Mhm,
good game. But like I debated on doing a like duo spot here with
mhm.
like Crash Bandicoot 3 and Spyro 3.
Yeah,
Um, but like I decided against it. But like you can Crash Bandicoot is also interchangeable with like Crash 3 is interchangeable with Spyro 3 for me. Just so you know, I don't talk about that because again I talked about it last
yeah.
week, last time. So
And again, still haven't played Spyro. I've just played Skylanders.
just buy the collection, like the three games. It's I
Would
think it's really cheap
do you
and you
think it's
get
worth
like
it?
three full games for it. The
Do you th- do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, the HD remasters are really good. I
Hmm.
only recently played Spyro 3 again.
Maybe someday then. Probably not soon because I want to get the Fate Stay Night remaster first.
Yeah,
Because they just came out with the official English release after 20 years of no English release for the Fate visual novel.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's been 20 years. Before the English audience, the only way you could read it was to pirate it.
Nice.
All right, I right back real quick, won't take long.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Found out I accidentally did money laundry.
Yeah.
Uh, I I left $5 in my pocket, and my pants got washed. So
So you literally
money
laundered
laundry.
money.
So
Funny
funny. I
joke.
know. Thank you.
It was the
Uh,
bestest of jokes.
yeah. All right, but we're back.
Yeah, we're
Where
back.
we crash. Yeah.
Yeah,
Any other comments you want to add to that,
I
or
I
you
don't.
just want to tell people to go watch the last episode?
Yeah, just watch the last episode if you want to hear me talking about that. And also buy the HD collection because it's good and it's worth
All
it.
right, you heard them, folks.
Yeah.
Go watch the last episode.
Yes.
Uh, so we want to move into one of my picks then.
We can. Yes. Um.
Which one do you want to do?
That's one I want to talk about last for sure.
Hmm.
But let's go with top middle.
Top, middle. Okay, Pokemon Y then.
Yes.
All right, Pokemon Y again is a mix of nostalgia, and I also just really like the game.
It's really
It
fun.
was the
It's
it
really.
was the
Yeah.
first
Sorry.
Pokemon game I bought. Didn't trade it from a friend and scam my friend. Didn't uh, emulate it. First game I actually bought. I say it was a gift, but first game that came through legal and honest means. Is I guess how I'll say it.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, so I have a lot of nostalgia with that game, and I also just like it. I think it's a fun game. I think the story is pretty fine. I like it's for me, it's on the higher end of Pokemon stories, but I get why people wouldn't agree with that
I
because
mean, it's
I
kind of
don't
silly,
know.
but like all
It
of the,
is silly,
but
but
all
I
of the Pokemon stories are. So I
yeah,
think that.
it's very silly. It's very absurdist, but I think it has a charm because of that. Same with Pokemon Sword, but I just have nostalgia for why, and
I,
I think it's a better game
yeah.
if
I
I'm being
I I don't have much to add to that because I
yeah,
also like really like Pokemon Y. I don't
yeah.
I don't get why Pokemon X and Y gets so much hate nowadays. I kind
Yeah,
of
I don't get it either.
I kind of feel like that's the black and white phenomena because black and
Yeah.
white, especially black and white 2, got like really a lot of hate back then.
Hmm.
And nowadays it kind of moved up again.
Yeah.
like
I think it all I think it also helps that it has my favorite Pokemon anime tied to it.
the
Uh
to be fair, the Y X Z Y X
X and
Z
Y. Yeah.
X
Or Z
black.
and
Yeah,
Y. I don't know what you
yeah.
guys say.
I think that it's X and Y and then X Y Z. Um,
Hmm.
like I think that's by far the best Pokemon anime. Like if
I'd
you
agree.
like, just I think that's the one anime that doesn't like feel specifically targeted to kids. Like of course it is
Yeah,
still,
it feels like
but
at
like
least it
it's
feels like younger teens is the audience.
yeah. It doesn't feel like a kids show as much.
Yeah. And I
Um,
also watched it as a younger teen, so I was like right at the audience to watch it.
Yeah, I think it's a really good anime.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah, that's my Pokemon Y takes. Another bonus to it gives you a free Lucario. Lucario's tied for my favorite Pokemon. So,
yeah, and Mega Lucario
uh,
is really cool. So
yeah, I was debating another Pokemon game, but I picked this one because of the nostalgia. Do you want to know what the other one is? Technically, the other one I also have nostalgia for, but less so.
I might scream, but go for it.
Take a guess. Take a guess. I want to
If
see what you say.
please don't say Sun and Moon.
Ultra Sun and
Uh,
because it has my favorite Pokemon.
what
What my other favorite Pokemon, Lycanroc.
what?
Lycanroc.
Oh, like a rock. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not familiar with English Pokemon names, so but like I
it's
know
the
which one.
wolf
Yeah, I
one
know
that
which one
like
it
has
is.
the morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, I also like
isn't
I like a lot of the Pokemon from there. That region.
which one is your favorite from the three forms?
Uh, oh, from the three forms,
Yeah,
probably dusk, like the
yeah,
midday one.
yeah,
That
basically.
one or the morning.
Yeah, I think
But I
the
think dusk
dusk
midday.
the
Yeah,
the dusk form is the coolest, but isn't it like tied to an ability that only like the event version that you had to
I
release
think
could
so.
have?
Something like that. I think you can get it now easier, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I think back then it was like stupidly hard to get.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
Uh, and yeah, the other reason why I picked Y also Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution was my
mhm.
favorite gimmick they've done.
It's the best gimmick they've ever done, and they should
Yeah,
bring it back instead of
they
new
should have just
gimmicks.
continued it. I don't
Yeah,
know why they changed it.
like especially since like uh, Giga Dynamax is basically the same thing but a bit
Yeah, just
different. Like it's the
it's
same
fun. It
thing, but they get big. So
yeah, I don't like Dynamax. That was for me personally. My biggest fault with Sword and Shield was Dynamax. I didn't like it
I
as a
mean
gimmick.
the
I
Terra
thought it was boring.
crystallization is even worse, but we don't talk about that.
I don't know what that is.
Like the gimmicks
Z
from the
moves are
newest
okay.
games.
Uh, I thought Z moves with the addition of that Mega Evolution were good because Ultra Sun and Moon added Mega Evolution. I don't know if Sun and Moon did. I don't
Sun and
remember.
Moon also had mega evolutions.
Okay, I think they just added more
Yeah,
in Ultra Sun and Moon.
I don't think they
Uh,
added more. I think they oh did
I
they? Oh
I'm not saying they made new ones.
oh
They
they
might have.
added
I
new
don't
ones. You
remember.
mean okay? Yeah,
Yeah, they added new ones that the previous game didn't have.
yeah.
I also like the Alpha and Sapphire remakes, but that's just me. We don't need to talk about that unless you want to, though.
I mean, I think the
I just see they get a lot of hate.
I they get hate.
Apparently, I've seen quite a bit of it.
I
People are like,
think
it's not as good as the original games.
I
Just play the
think
original games.
if you like if you what is the Emerald is it called? Yeah, no, is
Mhm.
it Emerald? Yeah, it is Emerald in English, right? The green one.
Emerald, Emerald
Yeah,
with Rayquaza.
yeah. I'm sorry, I had just had a brain lag. Um,
You're good. You're good. You're good.
um, I think if you go with that argument that you say like Emerald is like better than the remakes, then I would agree. But I think
Hmm.
like Omega, Sapphire, and Ruby are by far better games than the original. I
Hmm.
think they're really, really, really good remakes. I I
Yeah,
love Gen 3. I have to say that. I have to say that I don't dislike Gen
I
3. I
enjoy Gen
really
3 too.
like Gen 3. But I think the remakes are really good because they like other than like Diamond and Pearl remakes who just
Hmm.
port the game and keep
Yeah,
it with all their flaws, the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire just also took a
I
lot of
think
the
they're fun.
flaws and just fixed them and just removed them
Yeah,
entirely. And like a lot of the things like Gen 3 with a lot of like moves and stats and stuff and like specialization and like
yeah.
special attack and physical attack and stuff
Because it
like that.
wasn't until Gen 4 where they added the split between
Yeah,
special and physical.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I do think we are going on Pokemon maybe a little too long
yeah.
because we
I
talked
think
about
we
it a
are.
lot the last episode too, and I feel like we should just do a Pokemon episode soon.
We should do a Pokemon
Yeah.
episode because I
Because
think
it
there's
seems like we both have a lot more to say.
yeah. The thing with Pokemon is I think we
Mhm.
disagree on a lot of things, but we also agree on a
Yeah.
lot of things. So
I think if we do a Pokemon episode, I think we'll need to have a guest to
y-
be a mediator because I think the idea we could do is rank each gen,
yeah,
but because our takes are so different, I feel like we need a mediator to like figure out the vote.
yeah, okay,
So maybe look forward to that in the future. You
yeah.
want to go on to your third or second? I don't remember. I'm not good at counting.
Third, the third one.
Okay.
My third game. This for people who know me, I think it's not that surprising, but
Hmm.
for other people, it might be surprising because like it's kind of like it's the kind one game that really stands out beneath all those other games, but it's
Hmm.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. um,
That is fair.
yeah, I like that game. I really, really, really like that game, and
I never played it, unfortunately, but I've heard
you
amazing
should,
things.
you should. It's so good. It's especially if you like pirates. It sounds silly, but if you like pirates, the game is really for
See,
you.
was about to get into it because I was on a pirate kick. I don't remember why, but I was on a pirate kick a couple months ago, and I was like, I should play Black Flag, and then
You
I
should.
started it, but never got that far into it, unfortunately.
It's such a
But
great
I'll get
game.
back to it again eventually.
Like before I talk about the game, I have a quick story about the game that's really embarrassing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when I last no, it was before not the last time, but the time before that I played the game. It was not my first playthrough. I think it was the second or
Mm-hmm.
third. Um, where I played the game, I wanted to 100% the game because I was like, I really love that game, and for a
Yeah.
long time it was like in my top five, top three games.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to 100% it because
Yeah.
I like being a completionist sometimes.
Real quick, I'm
Yeah,
gonna ask this question. It's unrelated to Black Flag, but it is related to your list. And if the answer is yes, just say you're just don't answer the question, and we can go back to Black Flag. If it's no, just tell me no. Okay.
okay.
All right. Is Genshin on your list?
No,
Okay, good.
no.
I was worried.
I,
All right. Okay, we can get
like,
back to Black Flag. I
I,
just
I, I'm sorry. Like, I do play Genshin, but
uh-huh.
no, no.
I was so nervous. I'm
I
thankful
do
it's
play
not.
Genshin, and I have like a lot of hours in it, and I also spend
Uh-huh.
money on it. Not like a ton, but I spend money on it. But
Mhm.
it, I no, no,
Okay. I just wanted to confirm.
no.
All right.
I'm not
That's good. That's good.
that much of a degenerate. Um,
Okay. I'm not either.
back to
Let's move on to Black Flag.
back to Black Flag. I like
Yeah.
being a completionist, and I
Uh-huh.
um like 100%ing games. So I wanted to
Hmm.
100% it. Um, and I got really far. I got
Hmm.
exactly to like you have like a completion bar at the game. I
Yeah.
I think you have seen it if you've played it. So you have like a
Hmm.
little if you load your
Yeah.
save file.
Assassin's Creed games usually have like a little percentage
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Like and if you load the game, you have like a percentage bar, so you could
Yeah.
exactly see what you have left. And I was at like 98%. Everything
Hmm.
that was missing were like a couple chests. It wasn't much. It would have
Yeah.
been maybe like one day of like grinding and just
Hmm.
collecting a few chests.
Yeah.
And I accidentally deleted my save file.
That's rough. That's rough.
Because um, if you're on PC, to load your save file, you can press enter twice. Like
Hmm.
if you press enter twice, then you immediately load like the save file because you skipped like
Hmm.
the do you want to load your save file thingy.
Yeah.
And I'm an impatient motherfucker. So I hammered on my keyboard, but instead of enter, I pressed delete twice because it's right above
That
it.
is rough.
And pressing delete twice deletes your
It
save
deletes
file.
the game. Yeah, it makes sense.
So I
Uh,
misclicked my keyboard, and because I'm impatient and just mashed it twice, I just instantly deleted my save file and was sitting there, bro. What just happened?
I've I've never done that, but I have done something similar. I like to do Nuzlocke with Pokemon,
Mhm.
and there are so many runs where I've lost my favorite Pokemon because I was farming, like
Mhm.
just fighting random mon in the grass, and don't notice that my Pokemon's health got low after
Oh.
so long, and then I just get a random crit and I
Mm.
lose the mon. That's the closest thing I've had happen to me.
That's rough. Uh,
Yeah.
this also happened only one time. Ever since that,
Mhm.
I don't mesh to load a save file anymore. I
Yeah,
carefully check what I'm doing
makes
because
sense.
I was so upset that I immediately closed the game and didn't start it again for the next like
Mhm,
3 or 4 years. um, yeah, but after
mhm.
that I did one other playthrough of the game, and but I didn't 100% it because I didn't want to do that again.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
to talk about the game a little bit before we move on,
Mhm,
I think it's a bit an outlier in the Assassin's Creed line because it's like on
mhm.
like about pirates and in the
Yeah.
Caribbean, and there's a lot of
I
ship
mean,
stuff and
also, like, what is Assassin's Creed about anymore?
yeah,
We're
true.
about to go to
I mean the modern
Japan.
games
We've been
are,
in,
but
yeah,
like I mean from like Assassin's Creed 1 to like Syndicate, you
yeah,
had like
that's fair.
the games had like a very clear identity, and Black Flag
Yeah,
was always the one that was a bit of a standout. Um,
I think it was like the first one to break off,
yeah,
and afterwards they were like, okay, well, that worked on this one, so why don't we try it on these other ones
yeah.
without doing any of the other things that made that one successful?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. But we can talk about Assassin's Creed in depth a bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I like really like the story. I think the
Mhm,
game, like the actual like combat, isn't as
mhm.
fun as the Ezio games, for
Yeah,
example. Like,
I probably won't enjoy it then if I'm being honest. For me, combat is such a big part of games,
yeah.
which is going to make me sound like a hypocrite because of one of my picks later on. But uh,
Yeah,
for me, combat is really important
yeah,
to a game,
and
and
not saying it's bad. Like it's still
mhm,
good. I just think the Ezio games specifically, like Assassin's Creed
uh,
2, Assassin's Creed
mhm,
uh Revelations, I think, and Brotherhood, are those the
mhm.
names? I'm not sure.
Brotherhood is the oldest one I played,
I
I
think,
think.
yeah, I think two. It's two Brotherhood Revelations, if
Mhm.
I'm not mistaken. The Ezio games, the
Yeah.
three Ezio
Brotherhood was
games.
on PS2, right?
I think I played them
Not
all on
PS2, PSP.
I
PSP.
I played them all on PC, so I can't tell you.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
Um,
I think I played some Brotherhood on PSP,
yeah,
and
like
that's what got me into the franchise.
I think like um, Brotherhood, like the game after two, Brotherhood and also
Uh-huh.
Revelations had like really good combat gameplay, and while Black Flag also has good combat, it's not as good, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but the story is really good, and I just like the setting a lot and the atmosphere.
Mhm.
Like, just going on your ship and randomly sea shanties start to play. It's like I
Yeah,
I
pirates are
really
great.
it's so cool. I rarely ever fast traveled in that game because usually I
Mhm,
just went on like on islands. I fast traveled, but like if
mhm.
I went by ship, I usually didn't fast travel because I just want to listen to sea shanties.
Yeah,
And like Black Flag is also the reason why I'm so big into sea shanties. Like I'm
I love sea shanties. But sea shanties great.
yeah,
I
like
have one of the songs from Black Flag, I think, on my uh folk slash I don't know what to call the genre of music, but I have like a lot of folk songs,
yeah,
Viking songs, and sea shanties on a playlist on Spotify.
I also
And I
do.
have one or two songs from that game on there.
I have like I also have such a playlist, and I have like I don't know 5 or 6. Um, no,
Mhm.
not 5 or 6. Like almost all. I'm stupid. Sorry. Almost all. I think like 5 or 6 songs are not on the list, but like most of the playlists are on there
Yeah,
because like I played this game a lot and I've heard the sea shanties a lot and I love them a lot.
that's
I
fair.
I know pretty much all of them by heart because I'm
I was kind
fans.
of hoping for the same thing with the Viking one, but it just didn't hit.
Yeah,
The songs are kind of
I didn't play it, so I can't tell you. Um,
that's fair.
yeah,
With that, we can transition into my next pick, I guess.
yeah, because
If
that one
uh,
just like, yeah,
Yeah, I think you wanted to go with the other my Assassin's Creed pick, right?
yeah, exactly.
All right. How
Because
about you announce it? Tell me what you think of it first.
it's Assassin's Creed Unity.
Uh-huh.
I
What's
first
your
let's say
I think I know what your issue is, but let me hear your issue.
like there is no issue. Like
Okay.
there's no particular issue. I like the
Uh-huh.
setting. I like the story.
Uh-huh.
It's just one buggy mess.
It's not anymore though. It's
It
not.
isn't. It is.
I
Is
got
it
it.
fixed?
I got Yeah, it's fixed. It's a great game now.
Oh,
There's almost no bugs in it. Every once in a while, they'll be like you'll glitch into something, but that's very
every
rare.
once in a while isn't something that
No,
should
when I
happen.
say every once in a while, I mean it's happened to me like 5 times, and I've played the game a lot.
But that's still like at least 4 times too
It's not the
much.
best thing ever. It's not the best thing ever, but it's not the worst either, I
Yeah,
think.
I think like Unity is a great game. Like it on
Mhm.
paper, it's a great game.
Yeah.
But I
Because I've heard about a lot of the bugs when it first came out. It's almost completely been fixed.
then it's a solid pick. If that's actually the case, I haven't played it since,
Yeah.
so I can't tell
I
you.
played it fairly recently, so
Okay, then I don't have
uh,
any issues with the take. Unity is a great
yeah,
game. Like aside from the
yeah,
bugs.
I love the game. It's really fun. I never finished the story. I just because I played it when I was like kind of first getting into games that weren't Pokemon or
Mm,
Dragon Ball. Because as a kid, that's all I really played was Pokemon and Dragon Ball games.
yeah.
And really not much else except for maybe like a random shooter here and there.
Mm.
Uh, and yeah, I loved the game. Yeah,
Unity
it's
is
really fun.
cool. Like I think
Uh,
I prefer Syndicate over Unity,
mhm,
but I still think Unity is good. Like it's
yeah,
like it's like the bottom tier of my Assassin's Creed games. Like the ones
mhm,
I played from one to Syndicate. I can't talk
yeah,
much about the newer games. Um, and like it's at the around the bottom, but that's mostly because when I played it, it was buggy as hell, and
yeah.
also because the other ones are just really good. Like
That's fair.
it's
Uh, it's mostly been fixed. The Assassin's Creed games I played are Unity, Valhalla. Uh, what's the PS2 one, PSP one I said I played? Brotherhood,
Brotherhood
and one more. I don't remember its name
3,
either.
maybe.
Maybe, maybe. I don't know. But I like the Assassin's Creed aesthetic and combat style. I like
Yeah,
the way the combat in Unity is really fun for me.
yeah, that's
Like
true.
just trying to sneak around and like
I mean,
it's
sneaking
fun.
around is part of all of Assassin's Creed games, like the older ones at
No,
least.
yeah,
Like
it's not.
that's why
That's why
it's
I say
called Assassin's Creed.
yeah.
Like,
No, that's why I brought up Valhalla because it's not really that sneaking around focused.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
haven't
you
played them,
can
so I can't tell you about that.
you
But
I have played it quite a bit. You can sneak around, but it's mostly like big mob fights
mm.
in like open areas. So it's like really hard if you want to like
I
sneak
mean,
around. It's like you know how to sneak around. You played Skyrim, right?
yeah,
Okay, you know how like in Skyrim, if you like try and fight a big group of enemies, you're not really going to be able to use the sneak feature that much.
that's true.
It's similar in
Unless you
Valhalla.
have like sneak 100 or something.
Yeah, in which case it's the easiest thing ever.
Yeah,
But in Valhalla, it's kind of like that to me, at least from what I played. I never finished the game.
that tends to be a trend with you. It feels
I
like.
don't. I don't finish a lot of games if I'm being honest. Uh, there's let's see. I finished. Y,
Mm-hmm.
which I've already mentioned. So yeah, I finished my bottom left, which we'll get to eventually. I finished my middle, and I haven't finished. And I finished Budokai, the story mode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've finished any of the other games on here, although one of these games isn't finished. So, but yeah, I don't finish games a lot, unfortunately. I get I get really invested in it. I'll play like a lot of a game, and then right before I finish the game, I'll get burnt out of the game, and then start playing another game. And then by the time I want to get back to that game, I'll be like, well, why don't I just restart it, get a fresh experience? And that happens to me a lot. Uh, but yeah, that's my Assassin's Creed stuff. You want to add anything else to that?
No, I don't think. Like, I
Okay,
like
then we
Unity.
can.
I don't have much to add.
Okay, we can move on to your next one then.
Yes, let me check my list real quick.
Four,
Uh,
right? Five,
yeah, four.
four,
Like,
five.
yeah, four.
Okay.
It's I was really debating on putting that one higher because it used to be one of my all-time favorite games. And I think this will be a very controversial take.
Hmm.
um, it's Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, is
It
that the one that I said I started?
did you
I sent you a screenshot that I started one of them
send me a
before.
screenshot?
It was a long time ago that I started one of the Final Fantasy games,
Is it the one
but I
with the
don't remember
boy
which one.
band?
You start off in like this big city and you're like sneaking into this warehouse type thing, like plant, like nuclear plant vibe stuff.
That's Final Fantasy 7.
Okay,
Like, yeah.
that's the one I played a bit of. I
Oh,
never finished it.
yeah. Of course you didn't.
I didn't get, although to be fair, I didn't get really. I feel like that game, if I got more into it, I would have finished it, but I never got that into it.
I mean,
I didn't.
it
I
hurts my
wasn't a fan of the
soul.
combat.
It hurts my soul. But like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I was
If you
also
ever want to play it and just I watch you play it while we talk, I'd be down for that. But
yeah.
I don't think I'd play it on my own.
I yeah. Yeah.
Or if the Game Grumps play it, petition the Game Grumps to play it. I'll watch it.
But like the thing is, this list would have more Final Fantasy games
Mhm.
on it.
Yeah.
Not just 15, but we said
Hmm.
like we like just put one game per series on the list.
Yeah.
So that's why I settled for 15. 7
Hmm.
would also like 7 and 7 remake would also be like really. I haven't played Rebirth yet because my PC
Hmm.
is too bad for it and I don't have a PS5, so I couldn't
Yeah.
play it yet. Um, yeah, but Final Fantasy 15 is great. Like it has a lot of it got a lot of hate and it still gets a lot of hate nowadays because people were like expecting something else because
Yeah.
like I don't want to get in the whole controversy about Final Fantasy versus 13 and stuff and that it became
Yeah.
Final Fantasy
They
15.
don't all have the same combat style of the one I played, right?
No.
Okay.
Most of the games are turn
They're
based.
like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I would prefer.
But you can play the original Final Fantasy 7. That one is turn based.
Oh, is it turn based?
Yeah.
Oh, I might check that out then. How are the
But it's for the
what?
PS1 and it's very ugly.
Okay.
But it's a
Okay.
good game.
That's what I was trying to get at. But I don't. People give a lot of people really value old graphics, and people are always defending old graphics. So I'm
No,
really
no. Final Fantasy
cautious to
7 is
insult
ugly
them.
as hell.
Okay, okay. I'm
Like
really
it's
cautious to insult old games.
Final Fantasy 7 is like 3D polygon style
Hmm.
and one of the first attempts of Square to do that and it looks really ugly. It's a good game. The story and the
Yeah.
combat and the gameplay is really fun, but it looks ugly as hell.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. But back to Final Fantasy 15. Like there was a lot
Okay.
of controversy around the game and stuff. But and like the I think the main issue about Final Fantasy 15 people have is that they were
Hmm.
expecting something else. Good thing for me is
Yeah.
until I played that game, I didn't know that there was controversy around that game and that people were expecting something else. I just went in the store
Mhm.
one day, saw Final Fantasy 15 for $5, and I was like, I like Final Fantasy. I like playing new games. Let's buy this game. I played it,
Yeah,
and it became one of my all-time favorites. The
that's fair.
I really like the characters. I especially like Noctis, like the main character.
Mhm.
Noctis is a fantastic main character, and I
Yeah,
think his growth
it's a
throughout the
cool name.
game. Noctis Lucis Kylum is his full
That's a
name.
cool name. Reminds me of Lelouch. Like,
Is it?
just in terms of vibe, not in spelling,
Yeah.
obviously.
Um, Noctis Lucis Kylum means like night sky, basically.
Mhm.
Which plays a lot into Kingdom Hearts, but I don't want to get into Kingdom Hearts lore because like
Yeah.
yeah. Um but like
Okay.
I really
I'll be right.
yeah.
Gone for like a minute.
Okay. Let's go on another pause. I'm sorry we have to interrupt so often today. But like yeah. I don't know if I just should keep talking about Final Fantasy 15. Maybe. I don't know. Um just no, I do advertisement. Yeah, that's what I do. Um, because I don't want to pause again and like have a lot of dead space here. So, if you like or if you enjoy what you're hearing right now, please subscribe. Um, if you don't like what you're hearing, please dislike because it pushes the algorithm as well. Leave a like if you enjoy it. Leave a comment saying something like what you liked about the episode. Maybe roast our takes. Maybe I don't know. Just leave improvements. Like we saw last week. Not last week. Last episode. I'm yeah. We saw last episode a comment about me being too quiet and stuff. I think I fixed that. I think it's better this time. I it's the first time we're doing stuff like that, so I'm not really used to it. So we're still figuring things out, even on episode 4, but I think we're getting the hang of it a bit. Um, so yeah. I don't know what else to talk about, so I hope Silver comes back fast. But like, leave comments. Tell us about what you liked about the episode, what you didn't like, improvements and stuff. Um, it's not much what we get right now, because not many people are watching a podcast from two random people they've never seen before. Um, but we do see all the comments and we enjoy the comments we get. Um, yeah, yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah, I think I still like go into pause and wait until Silver comes back because I'm really bad at filling the void. um, yeah, we are back in an. Oh,
I'm so
he's
sorry. I'm back.
hey, Silver's back.
I am back. I am back. I am back.
Hello. I
Had
was
to.
about I was about to pause because I was running out of things to say.
I had to take the call, but I'm back.
Yeah. Um.
Uh,
Yeah, we were
yeah.
talking
So
about
yeah. Final Fantasy, guys.
yeah, we were talking about Final Fantasy. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I like the game. I have to keep it a bit brief and don't want to repeat myself
Yeah.
too often. I like the game. I really like Noctis as a protagonist. I still think the story is really good. There are major flaws
Mhm.
with the game. The game is
Mhm.
far from perfect. The pacing is a bit ass in the entire game, and the game has my least favorite section of any game I have ever played. It's like I think chapter
That's rough.
14 of the game, like
Mhm.
the third to last chapter. Um, if like there's a section in the game where you have to go through hallways and get
Mhm.
rid of all your weapons. That's all I say
That
because I don't want to
doesn't
spoil.
sound fun.
And it's the most unfun thing I have ever played in my entire life.
Mhm.
If you played the game, you probably know the part, and you probably also hate it because it's awful. Um, because like you take a game that's really open world, where you have tons of things to do, and the main gameplay gimmick is that you have tons of weapons to switch with and stuff like that, and that you can
Mhm.
move a lot in an open space. Now you take all of that away and throw you into dark hallways for like 4 hours straight, and it's just awful. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. I
Would so? Would you say? to finish off with Final Fantasy, then would you say that is a good game to start with, or what game would you recommend starting with
Mm,
if I didn't like the one that I played?
it depends what you want from Final Fantasy, because
What about
if you like normal action combat, basically like real time
I
action.
prefer turn?
If you like real time action gameplay, then you could start with 15 or 16.
Hmm.
I think that doesn't really matter. Oh, Final Fantasy VII remake for that matter. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you like turn-based games, I think 10 or 9 is probably the best to start with.
Okay.
Um, it, it generally doesn't really matter where you
Yeah.
start because all the Final Fantasy games are disconnected in terms of story. The only ones
Hmm.
that are connected are the ones with the same numbers. Like,
Yeah.
for example, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Fantasy VII Crisis Core, they are all connected.
Hmm.
But Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 16, for example, have nothing to do with each other. They are separate
Yeah.
stories, completely separate games.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right. Well, then I guess we can move on from Final Fantasy.
yeah,
Thanks for the lesson, Professor.
no problem.
Uh, and what do you want to pick from my list? I
Hmm.
will say I don't think we should go over my bottom right last or my top left last. I
Oh,
don't think either of those should be last from my list.
okay,
If I had to give a take.
okay. I think I remember that, and I will get to them.
Okay.
Yeah, but um, I think I want to pick the one that bisexuals love the most. It's
Hades.
yeah. I like that you.
Uh, How could I
I
not?
like that you immediately know what I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, in the game, you have bi romance options. It's like a real thing. So I obviously know what you're talking about. Also, all the characters are hot. Uh, but yeah, I can talk about Hades. Have you played it?
I haven't. I have seen gameplay and I really want to get
Mhm.
to it because I think I would really like the gameplay, but I haven't played it yet. I
Yeah.
really
Okay.
want to
So the
get to it.
gameplay. So it's a roguelike. In case anyone doesn't know, I assume you do, Lumen.
I
But in case anyone doesn't know what a roguelike is, it's basically like you always start from square one, but with advancements the farther you progress, is a decent way to explain it, I
yeah,
think.
that's I think that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. So Hades is a roguelike, and it's based in, who would have guessed by the name, Greek mythology. Although you're not playing as Hades, you're playing as his son, Zagreus. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's yeah, it's an indie game. It's fairly like it's pretty accurate with its Greek mythology. It takes a
Yeah,
lot of creative liberties, but in terms of like the character stories and who they are, it's like fairly accurate. A
I,
lot of the symbols that are used to represent them are also really spot on.
yeah. I was about to say. I think it's the game is actually a breath of fresh air because it did a lot for Greek mythology and fixed a lot of the things that the Hercules movie ruined.
Yeah,
um, yeah, it,
it's also like if you want to learn about Greek mythology, like you're interested in it, but you don't know a lot, it's not a bad way to learn. There's some stuff that you'll be confused about because it does change some things, but at the same time, it's Greek mythology. Not everything has a clear, concise answer in the first place.
yeah, that's true.
So they take creative liberties with it, but it's still fairly accurate. I love the visuals as well. I haven't played part two yet, but I really want to.
I
But
I
I love the visuals.
I
I
love
love the
how that
character
game
design.
looks. I really really love it.
It's such a beautiful game.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that art style.
it's magnificent. It's one of the best gaming experiences that I've had with the game, like beginning to end.
Yeah,
And yes, this is a game I've actually finished. I've actually
nice.
finished it twice, uh, which is you'll find something really common. If I finish a game, I'll finish it repeatedly. And I finished this game multiple times.
Yeah,
You technically have to beat it, but I've also beaten it past the amount of times that you have to. I don't want to spoil why you have to multiple times, but
I think I actually
because
know,
crazy.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty crazy for anyone who doesn't know. At
Has
least
it
it
to
was for
do
me.
that? Just to like do it as spoiler free as possible. Has it to do
Yeah,
with who the final boss is?
kind of, kind of.
Because I didn't know until now that you have to beat it, but I can
It,
guess
it
why.
yeah,
I think.
it's more related to the main character and who he is, but it
Okay,
does also have to do with the final boss.
okay.
Uh,
Bec-
somewhat.
because I know who the final boss is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's a really great game. I love the combat. I love the characters. The characters are all really cool, really fun. Uh, they're also just amazingly designed. I love
yeah.
the
The
design of
designs
every
are so
character.
good.
Yeah. Uh, just an overall really fun game for anyone who likes roguelikes or likes Greek mythology or just thinks it looks cool. I'd recommend checking it out.
It's
It's not too expensive either since it's an indie game, so it's not like the highest budget you need to play it. I think right now it's either $5 or $20,
yeah.
one or the other.
It's actually
And yeah,
it's actually insane for me that I haven't played the game because I love roguelikes. Like one of my most played games ever. It's not on this list, so I can say it. Is The
mhm,
Binding of Isaac. Like
yeah,
I have over 1,000 hours in that game. So I love
mhm.
roguelikes. I love Greek mythology. I love how this game looks. I don't know why I haven't played it yet. um,
So I will say I don't remember what I was going to say now.
I'm
Never
sorry.
mind.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunate. No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I am just very absent-minded sometimes. I don't know if that's the right word or not. But yeah, it's a really fun game. Uh, I plan on playing part two when I get the chance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Sorry, I
Yeah.
remember now. What I was going to say is it's if I had a top three, it'd probably be my top three.
Nice.
This my 3x3 is just randomly placed, but if I had to pick a top three, it'd probably be there.
All right. I'm worried about what the other two are, but
One of them you'll be happy with, I think.
it's is it bottom top left?
Uh, top left, no,
Oh, okay.
it's it's one of the middles, but they'll find out eventually. I'll save when it comes
Please
up.
not middle right.
Oh no. No,
I,
I don't mean the middle
oh, like you mean the middle
side.
row, the
Middle,
middle row.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
like from top to bottom, like the yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Um.
It might be four actually, Hades. Never mind. I was thinking. It might be four.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to say anything more about Hades? Or
No, I think that's good. I think I covered it. All I really have to say. I guess I can throw on real quick. Achilles Patroclus, I think is his name. Love them forever. They're my OTP. Love them.
yeah, I can't comment on that because I have no knowledge about Hades, but go off.
Well, you could just know Greek mythology too.
Yeah, I know.
Achilles, I feel like everyone knows. Patroclus, I think is the guy's name, is his lover.
Yeah, I'm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, I love them in the game. They're great. Which isn't a spoiler to say you meet them fairly early.
Okay. um. Yeah. That concludes Hades.
Yeah. Okay. So
Play it.
what is your
My next pick.
what's
It's fifth.
uh,
Yeah, it's the fifth.
fifth? So technically you're fourth in
Yeah,
terms of ranking.
for no,
Yeah.
no, it's fifth. Either way.
Fifth. Okay.
Or no, it's. Do I have
There's
10
only
games?
nine.
Am I?
Yeah.
Did I ten have? What? Wait.
If so, that's fine. That's fine. I can throw an extra one in if you have 10.
No, I have 9. Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Okay.
It's wait, but I have 4 games after that. Yeah, I
We'll
don't.
figure it out. We'll
We
figure it
we'll
out.
figure it out.
Yeah. Let's keep
I
going.
have I have 9 games in total, so it should be fine.
Okay. Okay.
The next game, it's probably like the series isn't so surprising, probably, but the game
Mhm.
might be. It's Fire Emblem Fates. I think a lot of people will hate me for that
I
because
don't know. Is
be-
that the one with the blue and red hair one characters?
no, that's the newest one. That's Engage.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Fire Emblem Fates. It's a lot of people hate it. I love it.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of
I
people.
haven't played it.
Um, the, Important to note is there are three different
Uh-huh.
Fire Emblem Fates games. Like the game is split into three separate games. You can see it kind of
Yeah.
like Pokemon a bit. Um,
Mhm.
like you have Final Fantasy Birthright, Conquest, and Revelations. Um,
Mhm.
you basically you have the main plot of the game is that you have to decide who you're siding with, and depending on who you're siding with, you play the game. Like Fire Emblem Birthright is you side with like the uh, Hoshido side. That's how the
Mhm.
fraction is named. And Fire Emblem Conquest is you side with the North side. Like the one of them is like the good ones, the other ones are the
Yeah.
bad ones. They're more morally complex than that, and I think both of them are false, kinda.
Just
But
need to
both of them,
generalize. Yeah.
yeah, both of them, like one of them is generally good, one of them is generally bad, but they're both
Yeah.
like really morally complex, and
Mhm.
um, I think you can't generalize it like that. Um, and then there's Revelation, with which is the third route, which is basically you don't pick a route and
Mhm.
like get like Revelations is the only route where you get all the characters.
Mhm.
Like in it's depending on what route you play, you only play with a set of characters that you
Yeah.
unlock throughout the game, and Revelations is the one where you get everyone.
Mhm.
So Revelations is basically like the the real experience for the game, but like all three games have a separate story, like in the same, like it basically you can play the game three times, all
Yeah.
three games each, and it's always a different experience.
A different experience.
Yeah, and
That sounds cool.
I think it's one of the games that I've played like where I made a full playthrough the most,
Mhm.
because I think the replay value is extremely high because it's a Fire Emblem game, so you can
Yeah.
recruit units, you can it sounds
Mhm.
stupid, but you can make children and like um put them in different classes,
Yeah.
get the best out of your children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I really like experimenting with a lot of characters, and I love
Mhm.
most of the cast. That's the biggest reason why I played the game. I
Yeah.
love all of the characters. Like
Mhm.
there are some
I
of my
also have a game where you can recruit characters, but we'll get to that later.
um like the thing with Fates is I
Uh-huh.
I think it's like gameplay wise and also
Mhm.
story wise far from the best Fire Emblem game, but it's
Uh-huh.
the characters that make it for me, because a
That's
lot of
fair. I get that.
the characters in Fates
Hmm.
have the are my favorite Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
Period. Like, and I think I've played the game a total of at least 15 times. I think.
Yeah.
Like if you count all of the three together. Like I played
Hmm.
Revelations the least. I think. I only played it like 3 times or something because it's also a
Yeah.
bit longer than the other ones. Um, but I played especially Birthright, which is the easier game of like the easiest game
Mhm.
of the three. I think I played that one the most, and like yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have much to talk about that. Like, but like
Yeah.
a lot of
I wish I played more of your games so we could discuss them more.
yeah,
Because right now, whenever you get to your games, I'm just like, yeah,
that's
and
the
it's not a bad thing. It's not your fault. I just need to play the games.
that's the reason why we need Jin here, because Jin is
We
also a
do.
really big Fire Emblem fan, and he would
Yeah.
probably roast me for this take. um,
Yeah.
but like so, Fire Emblem
I could
Fates
try and
now,
emulate them, but I don't know enough about the games to even attempt.
yeah, like Fire Emblem Fates probably
Mhm.
Fire Emblem fans now hate me
Yeah.
probably, but I really love Fates. That's
I
all I have to
guess
say.
to transfer into my next pick, just because I think it works well.
Hmm.
If you're, are you good with Fire Emblem?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
So you said Fire Emblem. What game? What?
Because should I just say your next game,
Uh,
or would
sure.
you want to say
You
it?
can say it.
it it's
You can say
it's FGO Fate Granddaughter.
it. Fate Grand Order. Love
It's
that
funny
game.
because it's a game,
Hate
also a
that game.
game where you recruit people, and it also has fate in the name. So
Yeah. That's why I decided to pick this one next.
yeah,
Yeah. Tell me what you think first, and I'll defend myself because that's probably how it'll go.
it's a. I haven't played it. I just know that
Mm-hmm.
it's a fate gacha, and I don't
Uh-huh.
really like fate, and gachas are usually terrible.
Mhm.
So um,
Okay.
uh,
So I'll
and
I'll
I
start
know
off.
that the fate, especially like the fate Go fan base, is
Mhm.
kind of awful.
No,
Like
I'd say it's the
all of
opposite.
like I have like two people, and that's
Uh-huh.
you and Lori, out of the
Hmm.
Fate fan base who are cool, and
Hmm.
everyone else I've ever met is like the most degenerate person, or just like or like either degenerate, racist, or just an awful human being.
Okay. That there is that side of the fan base, and that used to be a majority, but now I'd say it's heavily within the minority of the fan base. Now, anytime one of those are spotted, everyone,
You just cut out for a moment. Can you repeat, please?
yeah, that used to be a big part of the fan base. Now, in recent years, it's become a lot smaller. And anytime someone is like that within the fan base, everyone gives them crap
I mean, that's
because
good.
FGO does representation fairly well,
I've heard
I'd
that.
say.
Like,
Not for minorities always, but for other stuff, it's usually pretty good. It's better than Genshin for minorities, but
I mean,
that's
that's
not a
not.
high bar.
I was about to say that's not a high bar because like
Yeah, it's not a high bar to pass.
Genshin is a game that
Uh,
like that that's about diversity and has the core concept of Genshin is
mhm,
diversity, and it does the
mhm.
worst diversity representation I have ever seen.
So there is a good amount of uh like other cultures and representing them well in Fate, but there's also instances where it's really bad. It's like a 60-40 if it's going to be good or not.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I guess I can talk about why I actually like the game, and then I can kind of talk about why I hate the game really quickly, because I do hate the game too. This is a very interesting thing for me. Uh, so the reason why I love the game is, despite how much most people don't like the combat, I love it. I think it's fun. It's creative. It's different than a lot of other gotcha games. It has its own unique mechanics, and I think it's well constructed. Like, you can't just do the same thing for every fight. For farming, yes, but I'd prefer that for farming. I don't want to have to come up with creative ways to farm.
Yeah,
That's just annoying.
yeah, that's true.
But for the actual boss fights, I think it does it fairly well, typically. There's instances where it doesn't, but I think for the most part, it's pretty good. So that's what I like about the gameplay. Also, visuals, great. So one thing I love that Fate Grand Order does is that it hires different artists to do the characters,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is really cool.
There are
So
some
like they
really cool
have the
artists actually.
Your Lie in April mangaka
Mm-hmm.
uh, that has done characters. They've had the Danganronpa artist and just a lot of other artists. It's cool.
I'm don't quote me on that because I'm not
Mhm.
100% sure, and I have to check back with Jin because Jin knows
Mhm.
better. But I'm 99% sure, or like 90% sure, that actually
You're going to say March Comes Like a Lion, right?
what?
Are you going to talk about March Comes Like a Lion artist
No,
being in it? Oh,
no.
okay, that because I
Um,
confused Your Lie in April with March Comes Like a Lion. It's not the Your Lie in April artist. It's the March Comes Like a Lion
oh yeah.
artist.
um, I
Okay,
didn't know,
here's
but
what you
like
meant.
I'm pretty sure that actually like popular VTuber to get
Hmm.
back into that kind of topic. Um,
Yeah,
Ina, like Ninomai Inanis, um,
yeah,
actually did two or three, if I'm not completely mistaken. I think she did
not
artworks for
so,
that game.
yeah, not servants, but
Yeah,
like event art. I
yeah,
think she did,
yeah. And I
which is
think
cool.
she did art, and also a lot
Yeah,
of like quite a few holo VTubers are designed by FGO
by the same
artists.
artist. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Bay, for
Roni
example, is
Foreman. Yeah, Roni too was also the main artist for Fate. Like not just Fate Grand Order, Fate in general
mm-hmm.
was done by that. I know she left Hololive now, but still, I think that's her name, the
What?
clock girl, the time
What? You cut
space one
out
that
when
left.
you said it.
Okay. what did I last leave off on? I am so sorry that
You
I'm cutting out, guys.
you said the main artist for Fate did, and
The
when you
the
were
main
about to say
artist
the name of the VTuber, you
the
cut
main
out.
artist for Fate did Roni, I think is her name, the one that graduated from Hololive a while back. The like time girl, kind of depressed.
You mean Crony? Crony is still in Holo.
Crony. I missed a syllable or a letter.
Crony is still in
Uh,
Holo.
she is?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's the space one that
yeah.
graduated.
Sana did graduate.
I think Sana also might have had a Fate artist too, though.
I don't know. Like I
I'm
know
not sure. A lot of
Bay did and Crony.
yeah,
Yeah, Crony did as
yeah.
well.
There's a couple that have had them, Fate artists, because Fate hires a lot of artists, but the main artist for Fate did Crony.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the artist that designed Saber, which is my wife. Uh, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, that's true. And last, to go through it quickly because I can't really go through the story a lot. I love the story. Uh, it's very long, so you have to put a lot of time into reading the story, and it starts off kind of not bad, but eh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like the later arcs, like the arc I'm going through right now, phenomenal. Love it. It's made me tear up multiple times this game. Not out of just anger for bad gotcha. Uh, and yeah, my only real critique with Fate Grand Order is that it's a little bit outdated and the gotcha's terrible. Like it's genuinely terrible.
It
You
can't
have to
be as
spend like
bad as Genshin though.
it's worse.
It's work. That's not possible.
Guess how much you have to get to hit pity.
I don't know.
330 summons.
That's insane. But
Guess how much that would be in USD?
I don't know.
It's like $500, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
But like the
terrible
thing with
too.
Genshin is getting
Hmm.
pulls is like getting 110 pull
Yeah.
when you are free to play
Hmm.
takes ages.
Yeah.
Like it takes you a month to get like 50 pulls or something. It's
You could you can get pulls pretty easily in Fate Grand Order. I will give them that. You get like one pool, two free pools a week, three actually free pools a week. You also get through the story, you get about 110 pool for every story chapter you complete, which is like 10 hours worth of content though.
oh
So
yeah.
uh for completing extra quests, you get it's very easy to get summons in Fate. Give a lot of free ones away too.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the most recent anniversary on the English side, if you have every servant fully unlocked, you will get up to 1,000 Saint Quartz, which is about 360 pools. And even if you don't, if like I'd say the average person still got like 300 Saint Quartz, which is like 100 pools. So
That's
it's
not
pretty
too bad.
generous in that sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the best ever, but it's pretty generous, I'd say. It's just the rates that are so bad.
Yeah.
You can get lucky, but the rates can be really painful. I have spent like $200 worth, not at the same time, over time, just on trying to get Gilgamesh, and I haven't got
Mm.
him. So, mm. uh, I've put the I put an okay amount of money into the game. Only when I can, though. If I can't put money into the game, I won't.
Yeah. I
And
think
yeah, I
that's how
guess
you
that
should do it because
yeah,
otherwise you fall really fast into like the gacha spending hell. So
yeah. But I guess that's good for Fate Grand Order. Uh, I again, I do really want to emphasize the story is phenomenal. Like if you have the patience to go through it, it is phenomenal. I love the story so much. It has some of my favorite characters.
mm-hmm. I mean that's like
Uh,
Fate in general for you probably.
yeah. Well, Fate in general, I typically like most things that come from it, although it does have a lot of different writers because there's a lot of different fates.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's even more Type Moon works, which
Yeah.
is like stuff outside of Fate. Uh,
But like is like the
but
Type Moon stuff still in the same universe or is it completely disconnected? Because like I know that it has
yes,
something to do with Fate, but
Yes, but they rarely interact,
Okay,
to my knowledge. I
but
could be wrong
but
because I
it's
haven't gone
technically
outside of Fate, but
like it's technically the same universe.
mhm.
Or
So all the original stuff, I'm pretty sure, is in the same universe. So like Tsukihime, Holy Witch or whatever, Fate Stay Night, and all the original visual novels are all in the same universe.
hmm
So is Fate Zero. It's a prequel to Fate Stay Night. Um, but a lot of the other stuff that Fate has released is usually typically like more spin-off ish. Technically can be canon, but is typically viewed as a spin-off, I think. Uh, because there's different timelines in Fate 2. So
yeah,
technically everything can be canon. Everything is canon.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I haven't played. Just to really quickly go over Fate Stay Night, like I said earlier, I haven't played the original visual novel. I want to get into it.
hmm
Same with the other type of works. Just haven't had a chance. But I think I've ranted about Fate long enough. So we can move on to your next one if you want.
Yes, we can. Let me check my list. Oh, oh.
How real quickly? How far are we into the podcast? If we know?
We're 1 hour and 26 minutes. I think we should pick
Okay,
up the
so
pace a bit.
yeah, so yeah, we should try and go through the next ones a little bit quicker
I
if we
think
can.
I can talk about that pretty quickly because I don't
Mhm.
know if you have much to say about that.
Okay.
And it's The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.
I hate those games. Ew, cringe. No, I'm joking. I've only played Breath of the Wild and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Um, like I mean, I don't know if I can say much about Majora's Mask because I feel like
Mhm.
everything that's to say about that game has been said already.
And I think
It's
we also talked about it in the
mm,
first or second episode,
I
I
think
think.
we did, yeah. Like just to keep it brief,
No, mhm,
it's my favorite Zelda game. If we had if I was allowed to pick more from the Zelda
mhm,
series, there would be more on this list as well. But it's my favorite game, so I settled for this.
mhm,
Um, I love the game. The atmosphere is great. I love the dungeons. I love the story.
mhm,
Uh, I think it's the most alive Zelda game, if that makes sense.
mhm.
Like the NPCs feel most alive because everybody has a routine and you can
Yeah.
watch them do stuff. A lot of the quests are integrated into the time system because some characters are doing some tasks at some time.
Mhm,
I Even though it's like a bit to get used to, I really like the 3 days mechanic because
mhm,
um it's a bit upsetting if you get set back during a dungeon, but
mhm,
if you have like a bit of time management, I think it's fine. And I think if you like know what you have to do, I think if you say you want to do a dungeon now, one of the big four dungeons, I think if you reset your timer to zero and then like slow the time because you can do that,
mhm.
I think you can get through it without really getting resetted if you are not like awful at puzzle games.
Yeah.
um, yeah, but like I really like the game. I,
Fair.
again,
I've heard good things.
everything that's to say about the game has been said already, so there is
Yeah.
not much new. Like I can't give you groundbreaking revelation here. Like it's just good.
Yeah.
And I also like that's one of the main things I want to mention. I also really like the darker atmosphere in the game, but it's also something everyone has said before. I think
Yeah.
everybody who likes Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask says it because the dark atmosphere is cool. And yeah, I like it. But that's
Yeah, that's
Majora's
fair.
Mask.
If I ever do play and I hate it, we can talk about that. We can have a debate about that, but I don't know if I ever will. So who
Yeah.
knows?
I think I understand. I completely understand people who don't like
Mhm.
Majora's Mask. I think you either dislike the game or you really really love it. But
Yeah.
understand both sides a lot because
Mhm.
like while I think it's like not a bad game, like you can't say anything like objectively bad about it because it's in
Yeah.
execution good in my opinion, but like there are some things that could bother you on your playthrough. For me, most of those things are actually positive, but I also see
Mhm.
why people dislike them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Majora's Mask.
Uh,
We can move on.
yeah. Okay. I have four picks left. Which one do you want to go through? I think
mm,
it might be good to go over the top left because I don't have much to say about it.
yeah. Then move to
It's
the
not.
top left.
It's kind of one. It's kind of one I just put because I needed something and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of anything else at the time. And it's Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft, I think is a fun game to play with other people, but I almost never play it by myself anymore. I used to, but not anymore. So I put it mostly just because I have a lot of time in it. I do enjoy it when I play it with other people still, but I don't really care for it that much now, personally. But it'd feel wrong if I didn't include it also. So
I love
yeah.
Minecraft. it's it's a big part of my childhood actually. Not childhood, but like early, very
Mhm.
early teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, same. I have a lot of time in it. I played it a lot, but at the same time, it's just like I don't feel that strongly about it anymore.
Yeah.
I rarely like.
I also don't feel like strongly about it. I have like a
Mhm.
Minecraft phase like once a year where I just log in,
Yeah.
start a new world, build a bunch of stuff, and then log out and never touch it
Hmm.
for the next year. Um, and I think especially if you have a server with a friend group and stuff, it's really
Hmm.
really a lot of fun. And you can put
Yeah.
hours and hours into that.
I
But
think part of the reason why I've also like lost some of my love for it is just because like some of the times I played it with friends recently just was kind of boring since the people I was playing it with I didn't really care for all too much. I'd say.
mm,
Uh,
yeah, okay,
it was
that's
almost my first
understandable.
date though. That's a fun story.
That's fun.
Yeah. My first date was almost over Minecraft since we weren't able to meet in person. We had to cancel. So we're like, hey, why don't we play Minecraft? And then I got busy and couldn't even do that. So
That's
that's a fun
unfortunate.
story. Yeah.
Um,
I say that's a fun story, but looking back, it's fun. At the moment, I was kind of bummed about it.
yeah, understandably so. Um, yeah. Just one very quick thing about Minecraft.
Hmm.
Um, I actually, it's kind of embarrassing. I actually used to have a Minecraft YouTube channel. I was a Minecraft kid. Um,
I was unaware of this.
I, I, I want I had real life videos as well. I did
Hmm.
like basically all I did was copying popular YouTubers,
Yeah.
and
Was it in German?
yeah, it was in German.
Mm.
And then after after I realized that that is actual effort to do,
Hmm.
I did Minecraft videos, and the
Yeah.
thing is, I was cracked. Like I was cracked at PvP Minecraft. I was like
Yeah.
actually really good. Um, but I was like a stupid, annoying Minecraft kid. Nowadays,
Yeah.
none of those videos exist anymore, so you
Mm.
can't find them.
That's unfortunate.
I
I
deleted
was
all of
hoping
it.
to. I
No,
was hoping to clip this and put one of those clips in between.
no.
But okay, that's unfortunate.
My brother still have has like one like real life like one IRL video
Hmm.
on his PC saved, I think.
Hmm.
But other than that, all of those videos are lost media, and
Yeah,
gladly so. Because it was
I get
awful.
that. When I first started my channel in high school, my old main channel, I haven't uploaded stuff on my new main channel yet, so I don't know if I should call it my new main channel yet. But I do plan on doing stuff there eventually. But my old main channel, almost all those videos are gone. There's a couple left, but most of them are gone.
Understandable. Yeah,
But yeah, that's our Minecraft.
that's
Do you
Minecraft.
want to add anything else onto it, or
No, Minecraft is a good game. I don't have much to
yeah,
say.
it's still a good game. I
Yeah,
don't dislike it.
I
It's
mean
just
that's why
I'm
it's
yeah, it's on my list. It's
yeah.
on my list.
I mean it's not on
But
my
at the same
list.
time, it's like,
Yeah, it's not on
but
my list because I don't have like same as you. I don't have strong feelings towards Minecraft. I
yeah,
played it a lot. I
so
have a lot of history with it, but
mhm,
it's like yeah, it's Minecraft.
yeah. And I'll still play it with friends if I ever need a game to play with friends. But aside from that, I usually typically just don't play it too much anymore.
Okay,
Uh, but yeah, we can move on to your next one.
yeah, we
This
we
is
now go
your
into the last three for us both.
nice top three.
Um,
Well,
let
for me, they're not my top three. Actually, Two of them are,
That's cool. I hope
and
I hope the one I hope is not in there. It's not in there.
it's not in there.
I
Don't worry.
repeated
I
myself.
know which one you're thinking of.
Yeah.
It's not in there.
I would
Fate Grand Order is
actually
actually
I would actually jump off the next building if it was.
Fate Grand Order was my other top three that I kicked Hades out for, though. By the way,
Oh, okay. I see.
that's why I said Hades was four.
Okay.
I've been
Um
playing that game for 2+ years. I have to include it.
to
And when I
my
say I've been playing it for 2+ years, I mean like I've missed four daily logins.
hmm, um
But yeah, we can go into yours. Sorry about that.
for my top 3, like top 3 pick. I was
Mhm.
really debating if I would put this on 2 or like if I would
Can I
switch
take a
2 and
guess?
3 around.
Can I
Um
take a guess?
yeah.
Okay. If I do spoil one of your future ones, just say no comment or
Yeah.
just say whatever you are talking about. Is it Persona 5?
It is Persona 5
Let's
Royal.
go. I finally guessed right.
It is Persona
Uh,
5 Royal.
nice.
Very, very specifically Royal. Like Persona 5
I have
Vanilla isn't bad, but Royal is
I
better
love
in
it.
every regard. Like like
I love Persona 5
like Persona 5 is
Classic.
good. Persona 5 Vanilla is good. Persona 5 Royal is just an improvement in
Yeah.
every regard. So
The only reason why I didn't put Persona 5 was because I haven't completed it.
you
And
should.
normally, like for so many of these other games, I also haven't completed. But because this one's recent, I couldn't also just say nostalgia.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
It
I just didn't include it. But if I have it, from what I've played, it probably is worth the top nine.
and I feel like but I feel like Persona is one of those games I think you should wait with your judgment of the game before you
Mhm.
when you finish it. Like
Yeah.
because
I mean,
like
I've loved everything so far,
yeah,
but we'll
but like
see.
the
Yeah.
complete picture, like if you play finish the game, I think you still have
Mhm.
like, and I think you still have yet to get to the best part of the game. You
Mhm.
like without spoiling anything, you haven't come to the big plot twist of the game yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get spoiled on the ending, I think,
Yeah, I think
which is
I think
unfortunate.
getting spoiled for the ending isn't too bad because like the ending is like basic Persona stuff. Like
Yeah.
the ending
I
is
mean, it's my first Persona game, so I don't know what basic Persona stuff is, but I gotta be
yeah,
right back.
I think the
Sorry.
ending of Persona 5 is basically the same you have in every other game like every other Persona game as well. Like not exactly but like something along those lines. Um so I don't think that's too special. Um, yeah, and Silver is gone again. Oh,
Luden,
Silver's
I'm
back.
very sorry. We'll have to stop here for a little while,
Oh, damn.
and I'll be back in like 30 minutes.
Okay,
Sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm gonna interrupt. Be
yeah,
back in like 30 minutes though.
let's go.
We are back. Sorry, something came up. I had to leave for about 30 minutes, but we're back.
And it's late for me at least. But
Yeah, for me it's still early, but for Luden it's getting kind of late.
yeah, but we get through this. This is probably the most scuffed episode, but we will do.
I I think this would be our one of our best episodes if it were not for the technical difficulties I've experienced. Because you really haven't had any. It's mostly just been me.
I mean, yeah, kinda. But it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll push through. I think it'll still be a good episode either way.
Yeah. We left at Persona. we left
Yeah,
at
we're
yeah, we left at Persona 5. Um,
I think I gave most of my thoughts, so now you can kind of just shoot off whatever you want to say about it.
yeah, Persona 5 is a good fucking game. Um, which is funny
I'll use
because I was really skeptical at first. Like I knew it was like well received and stuff for a
it.
long time, but I kind of just not ignored it, but I didn't want to get into it because I was like, by the visual style, a visual novel
Hmm.
style, school gameplay type. I thought maybe this will be boring or maybe I won't enjoy this because, like for example, visual novels are not something I enjoy. Um,
I wouldn't say it's too visually novelly.
Yeah, it
It's
isn't. It isn't. But that was like my first immediate
uh,
thoughts when I saw it before I played it. But
I would I'd say I had similar, except my only difference was that I knew I would love it, but I was worried. Like I had already loved everything about it. I wasn't hesitant to start it, is what I'm trying to say. I was just worried, what if I don't like it? This is something that I think I'll love so much. I love the idea of it so far. I love the music. What if I don't end up liking it? But I liked it so far
yeah,
what I played.
like like I was hesitant because I thought I wouldn't like it.
Mhm.
But I was completely wrong. Persona 5
Yeah,
is
good.
like again Persona 5 Royal specifically, is now one of my all-time favorite games. Like there is not a single game I have played in my life that has so much
Mhm.
style. I think that's the
Yeah.
best way to say it. Like the game has so much style to it, from its menu, from the way it looks, from its music. It's just great. Then I really enjoy the story a lot, especially once
Mhm.
you get royals into the mix, like the
Mhm.
royal story part. I think, without spoiling anything, but I think the ending of Royal is really, really, really good because
Mhm.
it's not straightforward. Like it's not
Mhm.
we have to we have to beat this bad guy because he's bad.
Yeah.
Because without again spoiling too much, that's basically the final boss of Persona 5 Vanilla. Like it's just bad
Yeah.
guy who is bad, so we have to stop bad guy. Persona
Mhm.
5 Royal also has the normal ending, but it goes beyond that. And
Mhm.
the royal ending is way more complex and it's um I liked it.
I
I
forgot
liked it.
about something. I forgot about something I can quickly mention about Persona 5. The first Persona game I played of Persona 5 was Strikers.
That's wild.
I got it on accident. I thought it was Royale. I was wrong.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
very different games.
and and I spent like 30 minutes on the intro screen waiting for it to finish loading, not realizing I just didn't see the press X to continue button.
Yeah.
That's just a quick tangent I had about Persona.
Um yeah. um what I was about to say about the ending is like I like the thing with Royal is it gets you thinking. like like it's very morally complex, I think, the ending. Like not to sound like a redditor or something, but like I think it's like actually pretty complex and I like the idea behind it. And in general, like the story is great, the characters are really really good in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
they are a bit cliche at parts, but still
Yeah, I
I
can definitely see that.
like they are a bit cliche, but I really love the cast, and especially, and I have to point to Royal for that. Especially Akechi is so good in Royal. At least he's kind of bad in in normal Persona, but in Royal he had so many improvements. It is one of my favorite characters, and yeah, like in general, I love that game a lot. I again, that's something like with Zelda. I don't think I can say anything that isn't hasn't been said about this game because everyone loves Persona 5 and so do I. I think everybody who enjoys a good JRPG has a really really fantastic time with that game and you should really check it out. That's pretty much my thoughts about that game. There's not much to say other than that. Silver, are you there? Ah, God damn it! And we're
Okay, we're
back
back.
again. Like, yeah.
We are back again. My Wi-Fi disconnected for some reason, and I had to restart my laptop. But yeah, I guess we can move on to the next game since I'm pretty sure Luden finished his rap about Persona. And Luden, what game do you want to pick for me?
Let me check the list. Yeah. Okay. Let's get it over with.
I know
Middle
what you're gonna
right,
pick then.
middle right. Silver.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I,
Fortnite. We about to get
um,
down. 10 kills on the board right now.
I think your bit
What's up?
got lost because your connection was gone again.
No, that's rough. I sang the Victory Royale song, the Fortnite song. Yeah, my 10th, my not 10th, my next pick is Fortnite. Uh, it probably is last on this list, maybe next to Minecraft.
I want to
Yeah, I've just played this game a lot, and
I want
I
to kill
would be lying
myself.
to, I'd be lying if I didn't include it. I think it's fun. I don't think it's a bad game.
I think it is.
Why?
Because it's I think from every um battle royale I've played, I think it's the one I had least fun with. I
For
I
me,
then I think also like the whole crossover thing they're doing, crossover making crossovers with everything for like I know it's mainly just cosmetics. Sometimes it also affects the game, which is just weird.
it's all
Uh,
cosmetics.
yeah, but I'm sometimes you have like crossovers, like you get the Kamehameha and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
but any character can use
yeah,
that. It's not
yeah,
exclusive to Goku.
of course. But like I still think that's kind of weird.
I think
Also,
it's fun.
but like it feels like it. I don't know if it's is this if this is a boomer opinion, but I feel like Fortnite tries too hard. Like they try like it doesn't feel like natural. It just feels like we do crossovers just because we can, and none of this really feels good to me. Like I don't know.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like you're looking for the wrong thing from Fortnite.
Also, like
Fortnite's just supposed to
I don't enjoy the base game to begin with. So like
be.
even like now it's just completely overloaded with shit. So I don't enjoy it really. Um, and I think Silver is gone again. Oh, god damn it!
I heard what you were saying. I I enjoy the gameplay. I think it's fun. I think they change it consistently enough for it not to get too boring. I think
But like that's the
the
thing. I
they,
think it's overloaded because of that. Like it's just too
no, because
much shit going
they get
on.
they get rid of old stuff though
Yeah,
fairly often.
but like
So,
that's the thing. Only because you do something. That's my major problem with League of Legends, for example. Like they change so much that the base game changes so much that it's just not fun to adapt to a basically completely new game every season.
I mean,
It's like
if you're trying to play competitively, I get that, but I just play casually and I think it's fun. It's not complicated. It's pretty simple.
yeah, but like I
Uh,
don't know. I've played Fortnite before. I've played it before it went to Battle Royale. I think we've talked about that actually. Um, but like
maybe I don't
um
know if it was on the pod, but pretty sure we have.
yeah, like I've played it when it was still like a PVE zombie
Hmm.
mode thingy. That was kind of fun. But I with like Battle Royale Fortnite, I've never had a single minute of fun, and I don't know. I just really don't like that game.
I don't enjoy it that much by itself, but I think it's a fun game to play with other people. Like if you're with people you enjoy talking to, it's a fun game. Like the
But you could
graphics, I
play
think
better
are
Battle Royales.
with like what? I think the only one that's actually better for me is Apex. I don't like COD. I don't like PUBG.
I think yeah, but like I enjoy those games a bit more. Like
I hated Overwatch 2. I haven't played the first one.
Overwatch has a Battle Royale.
No, it's not Battle Royale, but it's like another game
Oh,
you
you
could
mean
play with
like
other people
FPS
that
shooter?
mainly has shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Multiplayer FPS. Yeah.
I like Overwatch, but like Overwatch 2 is kind
I've
of
only played
garbage.
2.
So
I didn't like it.
yeah, Overwatch 2
I
is
haven't tried the original.
kind of ass. I think
Hmm.
Overwatch 2 is just a step back from Overwatch 1.
I played Paladins. That was okay. That was fine.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
I'm not really big into the genre in general. Like
mhm.
FPS shooters not so much, but like battle royales. So I'm probably
Mm.
also not the targeted audience for it. But like I like specifically just hate Fortnite, and it's not because
It
like
is
I just hate Fortnite because I hate Fortnite because I played it and I didn't like it.
for me, the gameplay is fun. It I really appreciate the fact that it does change a little bit over time because if it didn't, it would be very easy for the game to just stagnate and die. Uh, which it almost did for a little while because it had stayed the same for a long time.
I'm sad that it didn't, but
Uh, I like the collabs. I think they're usually creative and pretty fun with how they do them. I don't like. I think the way they implement them can be pretty fun. I know it has a story. I don't pay attention to the story though.
it has a story.
I don't think anyone does. Yeah, there's a story to Fortnite's world. I don't know anyone who pays attention to it though. Mm, and yeah, I think it's just overall a pretty fun game, uh, especially if you have other people to play it with. And while
I see
would
that
probably
aspect.
enjoy,
Like I don't.
I would probably enjoy Apex more, but Apex doesn't have a single player mode, so I can't also play it by myself if I ever want to,
Can't you just
which is kind of one.
can't you just play it in random groups? Like
I
can
don't
you?
like that.
Well, okay,
I don't like playing with teammates that I can't talk to if
but you
I'm playing with
but
teammates.
you can talk to them usually.
I can, but most people don't respond. And
Okay.
there's also a chance of them being weird. But yeah, I just enjoy Fortnite a little bit more than Apex because of those aspects. It's easier to play by yourself. Play with. It's fairly simple. It's not like a complicated game to learn.
That's true.
Uh, they don't really have one hard to find meta that lasts thoroughly. You could kind of play. I mean, I, if you consider having to have a close up weapon, a medium range weapon, and another close up weapon like a shotgun, a meta, then sure, there's a meta. But if not, then it's kind of just play how you want.
I mean, but like that's kind of the standard for every
Yeah,
shooter.
that's the standard for most games. That's why I say I don't really call it a meta. It's just what makes sense.
Yeah,
What you do in games.
like it wouldn't make sense to just have two shotguns.
Yeah, I mean it used to actually because it used to be that you could switch and shoot automatically from your shotgun, so it'd be quicker to switch from your shotgun to an SMG. Because generally your shotgun's going to be your best weapon in a close range fight. Your SMG or like your fast but close range gun is going to be your second after you need to reload your shotgun and switch to the other one. But what it used to be is it would be quicker to just switch guns than reload, and it still is. But now there's a delay if you're switching between two shotguns. So now it encourages you to use your SMG more, which I like. I think that's good. The game's also become more balanced. Before there was a lot of shotguns that could just one shot you if you were at full health, and now the most I think is two shots, which is still isn't perfect, but I think it makes sense with the shotgun. And yeah, I just think it's a pretty well balanced game that's good with its community and fun enough. It's not my favorite game ever. It's definitely like near the bottom of these nine, but I can't not include it because of how much I played it. And most of my playtime is enjoyable, I'd say.
All right, I can't.
Also, Lego Fortnite's not that bad. I tried it.
Isn't that just Minecraft but Lego?
Kind of. It's a little bit different, but kind of.
Yeah, okay. I just don't want to say much about Fortnite because I don't want to like bring negative
That's
vibes.
fair.
But
I think I talked a little bit too much about that, so we can move on now.
okay. Um, next game on my list. Um, is probably what most people would think would be my number one, but it isn't. It's it changed. It changed.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
I'm
my
interested.
my number two pick is Kingdom Hearts 2.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it doesn't surprise anyone that Kingdom Hearts is on this list because Kingdom Hearts
I know you
still
were about to say a Kingdom Hearts game, but I wasn't sure which one.
2 is like I always jump between 2 and 3 because I like both games a lot, but
Yeah.
I like 2 more. Like maybe
Hmm.
it's also because I have played 2 more, but like I
Yeah.
yeah. I always struggle between which one of those, but yeah, I
Hmm.
think it everybody knows Kingdom Hearts is my favorite game series, so obviously it's here
Yeah.
on this list. Um, all of the Kingdom Hearts games are really good, but I think like Kingdom Hearts 2 is just like the peak. It's honestly such a great game. The gameplay is
Yeah.
like Kingdom Hearts 2. Hmm, that's difficult to say. Like I think in general, Kingdom Hearts 2 has the best gameplay, per, like just gameplay wise, and I think Kingdom Hearts 3 has the best movement. It's
Yeah.
like
I
it's
used I used to say I didn't like Kingdom Hearts gameplay,
yeah.
but I don't think that's my issue. I think it's the aesthetic.
Why? What you don't like about
I
the
don't like the aesthetic.
it's just
It's
anime
just,
aesthetic. Like
is it? I feel like it's not. I feel like it's different
yeah, it's
ish
like
to the
Kingdom
anime aesthetic.
it's like anime aesthetic with Disney.
Yeah, I think the Disney part's the part that kills it for me.
yeah. Um
And I like Disney for the most part. Not now as much, but I like a lot of old Disney.
yeah.
And
Um
uh, I just don't rock with it for some reason.
yeah,
It's just vibes.
but like Kingdom Hearts 2 is just for me like more or less the the peak. Like saying it's the peak of the series sounds like it fell off after that, which I don't
Mhm.
think. But like it's just I enjoy the gameplay most. Again, like I think the
Yeah.
movement is a bit better in KH3, which is like it's weird to say because movement is part of the gameplay, but I think if you played
Mhm.
KH3, you know what I mean. I just like
Yeah.
the way Sora moves in KH3 a bit more. Um, it also has like I think the most fun boss fights generally, and the story is just so good. Like I think the story of KH2 is still the best story. Like KH3 is the rep for the first 7 games of the series, so it's like
Mhm.
it's felt more like a conclusion. But KH2 has, in my opinion, the best story, and still to this day, one of the best endings I've ever seen to any game. Like I
Mhm.
think the only game that tops the ending, or is I don't think it tops it, but it's on the same level, is the game next
Mhm.
on my list. Actually, but other than that,
I really have you talked about what's number one is before to me or
I
mentioned
don't
it?
think I don't think so. I think
Okay, because I have no idea what it is.
some people who know me could maybe assume what it is. But
Mhm.
like I've talked about that game before, but I
Mhm.
don't think much about to you. Um, yeah. Also
Okay.
the music of Cage, like Kingdom Hearts,
Mhm.
such great music. I think I will talk about Kingdom Hearts in the future more, so I don't go like
Yeah,
super in depth with it. But Cage 2 is great.
you've also talked about it a bit before too.
Yeah, and like
Uh,
I think
yeah.
I think in general like Cage 2 was for a long time my favorite game of all
Mhm.
time, not being topped by anything. Um,
Yeah.
and it's
I'm
still
surprised something did top it.
yeah, I was also surprised. I was just as surprised as you. um, and it's still also a really big nostalgia game for me because like KH1 was like a really hard childhood game for me, and KH2 was then like I've heard about that game and I knew like I saw that the game exists randomly through the internet somehow, and then I
Hmm.
convinced my parents to get me the game, and they bought it like they ordered it online. And then funny part
Hmm.
is they ordered it in English. So my KH2 copy, my original one, is completely in
Yeah.
English.
Did you
Which
know any English at the time?
not much. Not much.
That's rough.
So
Did you learn
I've
some from it?
learned a lot of English through Kingdom Hearts, which is kind of funny.
N-
Um,
Nice. You maybe Kingdom Hearts is part of the reason we have this podcast then.
maybe it's yeah, but like Kingdom Hearts is. great. Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically is
Yeah.
great. Again, one fun fact I can mention before we move on
Yeah.
is I just recently, 2 weeks ago, got a Kingdom Hearts tattoo, so that's also a
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
I really like the
I think I
series.
saw that.
You,
It looks cool.
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks cool if I remember correctly.
It
I
would
mean,
be
I trust
bad if it
you.
didn't look good.
Yeah. It's kind of permanent, so
Yeah.
would be unfortunate.
I mean, it's
Uh,
semi-permanent. You can remove, but it's very
yeah,
difficult
it's
and
not
very
easy.
expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, yeah, I do probably need to play a Kingdom Hearts game, and even if I don't enjoy it, just push through it just for the sake of this podcast.
yeah.
Same thing with Final Fantasy and what's the other one again? That you what's the other franchise you like? I feel
Um,
like there's another one. I could be
I
wrong.
mean, Zelda, Fire Emblem,
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. I
Yeah,
don't.
Fire Emblem.
I think Fire Emblem isn't like a mandatory game series. I think the series is pretty niche in its
Hmm.
concept because like the gameplay is
Yeah.
really not for everyone. I think either
Hmm.
you enjoy Fire Emblem or you don't. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah. You need to play
Uh,
more Zelda
I
games
feel
though.
like I'd enjoy. I feel like I would enjoy Fire Emblem though.
I don't know.
Uh, what is it? Turn-based combat?
No, it's
Oh,
all like
is it beat 'em?
semi turn like it's I don't know how you
Mhm.
it's like a strategy
Mhm.
strategical RPG
Strategy.
like
Yeah,
you have like a checkboard there is a
I can
certain term
imagine it. I think
for that genre. It's like you have like this checkboard I can't speak
checkpoint,
chessboard esque thing where you move your characters from A to B, and like all the
chessboard.
chessboard, yes.
Oh, that sounds fun. I
Like
think I'd like
it's
that.
not like an actual chessboard, like but like you
Yeah,
have like
I get what you
fields
mean. I
and
get
like
what you
move
mean.
your characters around. Like
Yeah.
there is a name for that genre, but I don't.
Uh, I don't know. Kind of like Baldur's Gate combat, except Baldur's Gate is directly based off D&D.
Yeah,
But you move on like a board, kind of
yeah, but like
characters, and you
in
choose weapons.
the difference between like Baldur's Gate and Fire Emblem is
Hmm.
like Baldur's Gate is like just pretty much whoever has the most initiative moves first, I guess. I haven't played
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate, but probably.
yeah.
Um,
Same
with Fire Emblem,
as D&D. Whoever has better initiative.
yeah, in Fire Emblem, it is turn based. Like first you go,
Hmm.
then enemy goes, but like you move
Yeah.
your units. Like you move all your units,
Hmm.
do everything with every unit, and then your um the enemy side is yeah
See, that sounds fun. I think I'd enjoy that.
yeah it
That if I do get into one of those three franchises, that's probably the one I'll check out first.
yeah. I just
Uh,
looked up the genre and it says just
mhm.
strategy RPG. Yeah.
Yeah, strategy role play. I didn't think it had another name, but maybe I'm also not that knowledgeable on the genre, so I could have been wrong. Uh, but yeah, that was Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Uh,
Like I mean you
I'll,
could put the
uh,
like if we were allowed to put
mhm,
like for the sake of like having diversity in the list we
mhm,
said we only put one per series. But if we had
mhm,
like multiple games per series, probably the whole list would be dominated by KH games.
mhm.
Like if you
That wouldn't have surprised me.
yeah,
That's why I said this specifically for you because for me it wasn't a big deal because I don't play that many.
I think you cut out again or you're gone again.
I was basically explaining that this list was mostly for.
You cut out again. Oh, internet problems. Hello, Silver?
I'm back.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Yeah,
I was just explaining that this rule is mostly for you.
yeah,
The not including multiple of the series because
yeah.
I probably wouldn't have that much.
And that's like the thing
Uh,
with me because like Zelda, Kingdom Hearts, or Fire Emblem would have multiple entries here. So
Yeah,
and Final Fantasy as well. So
yeah. And I think we had pretty good lists so far. Uh, I guess we can move on to my last one. I think it's my last one, right? No, I still have
no,
two
you
more. I
have
forgot.
two more still,
Yeah.
but
All right.
they
Which one
go
do you want me
kind
to
of
do?
hand to hand. So
They do and they don't, but
yeah, but
they're
like
the same developer, is what I'll say.
yeah. Um,
So which one do you want me to do? Or I can do them both if you want me to.
I,
Just speed through them.
that's right. Yeah, we made a mistake. I went to my
Mhm.
game before we switched back to you.
Yeah, that's
That's
why I'm saying I can
yeah.
do them both.
You can do both if you
Uh,
want.
yeah. All right. So same developer. I mentioned in the first episode how much I love their games. It's Sekiro and Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Two of my favorite games. Love both these games. Sekiro is they're both very different games though. Uh, Elden Ring is an open world game, very fantastical, very majestic, I guess is a word, but also like dark at the same time. Uh, Great game, love it. There's so much freedom in the game. There's like so many bosses that you don't even have to fight if you don't want to, but there's so much cool boss design too. Like even though you don't have to fight a lot of the bosses, you want to. I've completed 80% of the game. Not that I haven't finished it. I just mean I've gotten 80% of the achievements, which is one of the farthest I've ever gotten in a game. Beautiful soundtrack, beautiful character design, really interesting world that I did not learn about myself. I had to watch lore videos, but really interesting world. And for Sekiro's just, I love the combat. It's the best combat in the game I've ever experienced because it is so rewarding to beat a boss that you struggle with in that game because there's no like there kind of is, but there's no real way to cheese bosses. Every now and then you'll find a way, but for a lot of them, it's just you got to get better and you got to beat the boss through your skill. And I love that. I love this game so much. Despite what I me saying this though, I'm still stuck on the final boss.
damn.
I've been there for what I'll do is I'll take a break for a couple months, try again for about a day or two, and give up. Which isn't great because I get rusty and I've gotten progressively worse at fighting the final boss, so I might have to restart the game to really get back into the groove of it. But we'll see. Despite all that, though, one of my favorite games. Both of them amazing. They're tied for my top one. I don't know which one I like more. And yeah, if I do want to add one other thing to Elden Ring in contrast to Sekiro is it's very easy to cheese things. You can one shot some of the hardest bosses in the game if you want to really just get into the technical stuff of the game and just cheese the game. But despite that, I love the creativity in it. I love just how much you can do. Both great games.
Yeah, I can't say much about it because I haven't played either. I haven't played any
I was
FromSoft game actually.
yeah, I
Because
I was really worried right now when you took a pause before you
no,
said
no,
anything. I
it's
was like,
okay.
did I just cut out?
No, no,
Did
no.
none of that
You
go
were.
through? I was so worried. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
I just didn't say anything because I didn't want to interrupt. So,
Yeah,
um,
no, that's fair.
um,
Uh, but yeah,
yeah.
I'd recommend you playing them. I don't know if they're your style, but I recommend them.
I think if I would play any of the FromSoft games, it's probably Sekiro because I
Hmm.
like I don't think Elden Ring is that much of an issue, but like Dark Souls specifically has like the issue that I think it's just too slow for me. I just don't like
Elden Ring
Elden Ring.
is not slow or fast. It's your own pace.
Yeah, but like you like still like Dark Souls is
Mhm.
also not like a slow game, but like it everything just feels I don't know heavy is maybe
Overwhelming.
no nah it's just like the it's hard to explain um
Grim.
just like
Depressing.
just like the just like the gameplay in itself is just like a bit not clunky but just slow. Like that's not a criticism. It's
Okay,
just it's just slow.
that
It just moves
I've
slow.
tried the first three Dark Soul games. I'd agree with that for two, especially. Three a little bit less. I don't know enough about one. I haven't played it enough. Bloodborne at times. Elden Ring, not a problem at all. It can be really fast, really quick, and really smooth. It depends on what kind of build you want to have.
Mm-hmm. And probably also on your
If
weapon type, I guess.
Yeah, if you do a strength build and focus on like heavy weapons, it's
You,
fighting can be clanky.
yeah.
But if you're doing like dex or magic, whatever kind of magic you want to use, it's really quick. It's really smooth, in my opinion.
All right, that's good to know. But I know Sekiro
Yeah,
is way faster.
Sekiro has the best combat.
Yeah,
It's very smooth. Your main mechanic is your parry. Just learning how to parry different opponents.
but like
That is your main thing.
that's why I think you would like Kingdom Hearts because like I think like from its of course aesthetic and stuff like that is completely different.
Mhm,
We don't have to argue about that. But I think just like
mhm.
from the core gameplay, it's not too far apart. Of course, like Kingdom Hearts is generally, depending on what difficulty you're playing on, easier. But if you're playing on critical, it's basically really similar. Like it's yeah. And especially like boss fights. I think like the harder bosses in Kingdom Hearts are probably similar to like Dark Souls or like FromSoft bosses in
Mhm,
execution, like in approach, like not from
mhm,
what they do or stuff like that, but just like approach in like you have to
mhm.
analyze what they do and then act accordingly and stuff like that. You can't just mash your way through it. Um,
Yeah, I feel like just to finish off with Elden Ring, then, and I I'm not I can't say that Kingdom Hearts is different to Sekiro, but I have a very hard time imagining their combat being similar. But I think I get what you're getting at, and
yeah, like it's not like the same. That's not what I want to say.
yeah,
Like
I get what you're trying to say. It's like that they not mechanically function similarly, but like
it's in approach, in the way you
yeah,
play the
in
game.
approach.
It's
Hmm.
it's similar, I think. But like
Yeah.
that's also for just for high difficulty Kingdom Hearts because that's a
Hmm.
very like I again sound like a redditor. Like in Kingdom Hearts is fundamentally two different games depending on what
Yeah.
difficulty you're playing on. If you
Hmm.
just play the lower three difficulties, it's basically mesh X to win. So
Yeah.
like you can basically mash buttons and like never use dodge roll or a guard in your entire playthrough, and you probably will make it just fine without much difficulty. If you play on
Yeah.
critical, like the hardest difficulty, it's
Hmm.
it's genuinely a completely different game because a lot of things just straight up one shot you, and you have to
Hmm.
each fight you take, you have to carefully approach and think what you're doing. And I think
Yeah.
that's when Kingdom Hearts is at its best. Like I usually just to like experience the game and its story, I play it on my first
Hmm.
playthrough on like normal difficulty, and once I finish the game and want to like experience the combat to its fullest, I replay it on
Yeah.
highest difficulty because
I have an issue where anytime I can make the game easier, I usually do. And it's not that
but
I think I wouldn't be able to beat the hard mode. It's just, especially if a game has a story that I'm really interested in, a lot of the times I just kind of want to sit back and relax and
and
play through the story.
that's why I usually play it twice
Hmm.
because like one is just for the story and the other is just for me wanting to challenge myself.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, I guess to close off with both Elden Ring and Sekiro, and just kind of FromSoft in general, I'll say, is Elden Ring for you personally, I think would be a good start. But if again you think you enjoy Sekiro more, go for it. I just think the story and the world in Elden Ring are a bit more interesting to me personally, and I think you'd vibe with the aesthetic.
mhm,
Uh, but I also really love Sekiro, so if you want to start with that first, that'd also be cool.
yeah,
Bloodborne is also really high renowned. That's typically people debate if Elden Ring or Bloodborne are better. Uh, I started it, and it's just very. I wasn't a fan of the aesthetic, which
Yeah, that's like
is a
my
hot take, I think.
that's my I think my main issue with all the FromSoft games is
Hmm.
I just don't like I like the aesthetic, but I don't like how dark they look. Like not in a like
Elden Ring, I get what you mean. Elden Ring is a lot less dark.
yeah,
There's
it is,
moments,
it
but
is.
it's more majestic,
Yeah, it is,
I'd
but
say.
like it still has like this, like in terms of color palette specifically.
Hmm.
I think the game is just dark in terms of not setting or something, but just color.
Hmm.
I think it's just
No,
yeah,
it depends on what area you're in. Because
yeah,
there's some areas where it's like magical blue lights, stars everywhere, very bright, and then there's some areas where it's very grim and dark. It
yeah,
depends where you go in the game. I can send you some screenshots later of like just the most beautiful scenery I've seen in that game.
yeah.
But I get that. That's fair. I'm also aesthetic based person when it comes to the games I prefer to play. Uh,
Which we just
but
talked about
yeah,
with Kingdom Hearts.
yeah. Uh, do you still have time to do the extra thing we wanted to do? We can both do one, or
I
you
I still have.
think it's better to wrap up?
I mean, I still have my number one spot.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
Um,
What is your number one spot? I'm just so surprised it's not Kingdom Hearts. It took me a minute to register.
yeah. My number one spot, despite popular belief, is not Kingdom Hearts, but instead Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Huh. I think I've seen you mention that on Twitter for a couple of times, but I
It,
didn't know it surpassed Kingdom Hearts for you.
it's genuinely one of the most surprisingly good games I've ever played.
Hmm.
Like I'm not to say that I expected it to be bad when I picked it up,
Yeah.
because like Xenoblade 1 is genuinely already an incredible game, and 2 isn't much. Like I think 2 and 1 are both really really good games, but
Hmm.
3 is so fucking good. Like I don't know. I think the biggest like talking point when talking about Xenoblade in general
Hmm.
is the gameplay, because it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's just like because it has like it's a lot like MMORPGs from its
Hmm.
gameplay. Um, so I think you have to be into that. But if you're into that, Xenoblade 3 is genuinely one of the greatest games ever. Like
Yeah.
it's
It seems good. I want to check it out eventually. That's one I've actually had plans to eventually get into.
it's I hardly have words for it, because from
Hmm.
its main cast, the six main characters, is probably the most lovable cast of characters I've ever seen in a
Hmm.
game, and
For me, that's FGO.
it's but like it's crazy to me with Xenoblade. Like it's not the entire cast, just the main six that are
Yeah.
just so well developed. Like you
Hmm.
spend the entire game with the main six from start to finish,
Hmm.
and they manage to get all of them. Like you have Mio and Noah, who are kind of like the main characters, so they get a
Hmm.
bit more shine than the others. But still, everyone gets almost equal amounts of screen time, equal amounts of development, and they just feel very human in the way they interact with each other, and just very natural. And like they carry a lot of the game. Um,
Yeah.
so that's already a really big plus. Then the game looks fucking gorgeous, especially if you
Hmm.
consider that it's on the Switch, which is known for having the best graphics. But still,
Yeah.
I think Xenoblade is honestly the best looking Switch game there is, without any competition.
Fair. Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
because like
Again, it's something I plan on checking out eventually because I think it looks cool. Like
it is.
I've only seen not even clips of it, but just screenshots, and the aesthetic is kind of fun to me at least, and apparently to you too, I assume.
No, I
Uh,
hate it.
it's the only part you didn't like the aesthetic.
Yeah, I hate the
Visually,
aesthetic.
everything was terrible.
Yeah,
No, uh, yeah, it looks fun to me. I do plan on checking it out eventually. I just got a lot of stuff on the backboard.
yeah. But like, to finish it a bit, um, like I love every area you get to in the game. Like I think there's a very diverse set of different like
Hmm.
regions you get to, and like everything looks very different, and just Xenoblade in general has like a very unique aesthetic, like
Yeah.
all of the Xenoblade games, which is is just rooted in the lore of the games. So that's
Hmm.
why they look how they look, and especially since I don't think this is a spoiler because it's literally the main part of the plot of the game. Like Xenoblade
Hmm.
3 combines the worlds of 1 and 2. Like 1 and 2 have separate worlds, and 3 is a combination of that. I won't get into why
Hmm.
because that would be a spoiler, but like so you have sceneries from like new sceneries and also sceneries from the previous two games, and all of it basically meshed together. So it just looks really really good, and the story and soundtrack are the last parts I want to talk about because it genuinely blew me away. The story of
Yeah.
Xenoblade 3 is probably the best story I've ever seen in a game, especially if you consider the DLC, because the game has a
Should play
story.
FGO.
Hmm?
Should play FGO.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm being half serious. Uh, Not to derail you, but
Yeah.
I genuinely do think the later chapters of FGO, like some of the most recent ones to come out on NA, are some of the best stories I've read.
Yeah, but like that's the
So it
thing.
sucks that they're
Like
stuck in a gotcha.
I usually like if I can like especially in a game experience the story proper, like and like not like read all of it without yeah
Yeah,
yeah if you get what I mean.
I get you.
Like
Think of it
if
more as
like
a
if,
manga, though.
yeah, but that's like the thing. If I want to read my story, I will read a manga, and
You technically can just read it and not do the events. Well, you can beat the game and then go back and read everything because it lets you go back to old records.
yeah
But sorry to derail you.
yeah
You can go back on to
yeah like
Xenoblade.
the story in general. I don't want to say like what it's about properly because I think everything I do say can take away because I went into
Mhm.
Xenoblade 3 completely blind. I didn't know. Like I
Yeah,
watched the first trailer and was like, yeah, this game looks great. It looks just as great as Xenoblade 1. Don't want to see anything else. um,
mhm.
and this was the best decision because I think most of the trailers after the first have major spoilers in it. So I'm glad I
Yeah,
didn't do that. Um, so I think it's best if you just go in without knowing anything about the story,
yeah.
and you're in for a ride. And again, I mentioned it when I
Mhm.
talked about Cage 2. Uh, I think the ending is one of the best endings ever.
Mhm.
Like period. And then again, if you include the DLC as well, it's just like the top, the cherry on top of it, because I think the DLC only really hits if you played or experienced the previous two games as well. Um, I think you still would enjoy the DLC if you haven't played one and two, but like it really hits as a full trilogy once you play the DLC.
So
But
the best experience for the game is to play all three.
for the DLC specifically. I think
Mhm.
for Xenoblade 3, you don't need much prior knowledge. There are just a, a very few reoccurring characters, and I don't think
Yeah.
you need to know much about the previous games. But for the DLC, you
Okay.
definitely need to have played, or at least know the story of the previous two, because otherwise you're
Yeah.
kind of lost. Um, yeah. And
That
also the soundtrack,
that's
the soundtrack. This the last
yeah.
thing I want to talk
You
about because
you really love a good soundtrack.
I really do love a good soundtrack, and damn, has Xenoblade a good one. I think
Which
there's
again, which again, Elden Ring.
yeah, also like FromSoft games in general have fantastic
Yeah,
soundtracks, but like
Elden Ring's probably my favorite thus far, though,
Xenoblade,
just from the bit I've experienced.
yeah, I can't talk much about Elden Ring because I haven't heard
Yeah,
much of the Elden Ring soundtrack.
no,
Um,
no, I'm just trying to get you to play it. That's all. We don't
uh,
need to discuss it. I just
with Xenoblade 3, I think the game has like over 200 different soundtracks. if I remember,
Mhm.
like OSTs.
Mhm.
It's like a shit ton of tracks, and every single one
That is.
is fantastic. Like even if you just have area themes,
Mhm.
like just your basic overworld walk from A to B themes, are usually really damn good.
Yeah.
Um,
This is the game you were upset about that Lost soundtrack, right?
hmm?
You were upset when this Lost Game of the Year's soundtrack, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. Oh my god,
I
Jesus
remember that.
Christ!
I remember.
It
I
was
remember you were
not.
so upset about that.
It was not last year. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Xenoblade 3 was nominated in only one category, and that was Best Soundtrack at the Game Awards.
Mhm.
And it lost against God of War, which is so fucking upsetting because God of
Yeah.
War has a good soundtrack. Don't get me wrong.
It's decent. It's not bad.
God of War has a good soundtrack, but it has like 25 tracks or something, and none of them are like major standouts. Like all of them are good. Nothing is bad.
They're good for the game,
Yeah,
but I'd never listen to them
yeah.
outside of it.
Xenoblade has like 200 soundtracks. Some of them are like major bangers, and that's the
Mhm.
craziest part. They invented a new type of flute only for this game. Like they invented a new flute type only for the game so that this game soundtrack has a unique style to it. I've never seen any developer do something like that. It's
Yeah, no,
that's genuinely nuts.
impressive.
And the fact that that they lost best soundtrack against God of War is still major bullshit. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. It's like Persona losing to Genshin.
Yeah, basically. Like Genshin has a really good soundtrack. Like I don't get me
It's
wrong.
okay.
It's
I
I
it's okay.
I think it has a really good soundtrack. Like it's not every theme is
It's
like
okay.
fantastic, but a lot of it is really good.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
it
I've
doesn't
only
have
played a couple hours of the game, so I haven't heard them all. But from
yeah,
what I've heard,
the most of the Mondstadt, like if you only
mhm,
played the start, you only have like heard like Mondstadt soundtrack, and that's kind of lame.
mhm.
But the game has really good soundtrack. But if you compare it to Persona 5, it's just
Yeah,
there are just
that's just what
major
I'm trying
different.
to say.
Yeah,
That like
there are
it,
major
for
differences.
most people who aren't familiar with either of those games soundtrack, maybe you might be familiar with those, and
Yeah,
that's like the kind of difference in
yeah,
my head.
yeah. But like I think Genshin is not that good of an example because it has a really good soundtrack. But like, still,
I
like
mean, yeah, but like that's
like
the thing.
Persona
I think
5 has one of the best
Valhalla
soundtracks.
also has
Period.
a
Like
yeah.
I like
That's the thing though. I think Valhalla also has a pretty good soundtrack, but it's just okay. It's good, but nothing better.
yeah, but yeah, it's just yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
just really upsetting every time I talk about it. I just get upset because
everyone go play Xenoblade 3 and
yeah,
the other games if you want.
yeah,
And if you've already seen them, if you've already played them, good for you.
yeah. You should play
Uh,
Xenoblade 3.
I I will eventually. Eventually. I on my list of games to play right now is Baldur's Gate 3, which I don't have a PC for, or a PS5. Fate Stay Night, which I just don't have the money for right now, but when I get the money for it, I'll get it. Uh, Tsukihime, which is another Type Moon project. It's the one Eddie's a big fan of.
Yeah, I know Eddie is a big fan
Uh,
of that game.
and then those are the main three on my list right now to play.
Yeah,
And then after that, maybe I might.
you should.
Or Hades 2. I still need to get through Hades 2 too.
Yeah, that's
Also,
actually
you need
like
to play Hades. You'd love it.
yeah. I was about to say like of all the games we've talked about today, Hades is probably the one I will check out next. The only problem with that is I have a huge
Mhm,
backlog of games I need to finish still, and I want to
mhm,
finish still. So it
mhm.
will take me a
Same.
while, but I want to play Hades eventually.
Mhm. You know what game I want you to play most from this list?
Probably Elden Ring.
Actually, yeah. I was gonna say FGO was a joke. I thought you might guess that, but no, probably Elden Ring. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
because
would
I
like
won't
you to.
touch like I
Yeah.
I won't touch Fate unless it's for content.
Mhm. Yeah. What if what if they made an anime for it? They already do have one, and it's actually really good. I love it.
Or
There's
Elden Ring, you
three
mean?
actually.
Or
No, FGO.
uh,
And like they're not hard to understand even if you haven't played the game. So maybe I can get you to watch them for the podcast someday.
I mean,
Maybe not all of it, of course, but you know,
I
could
mean,
maybe idea, not guaranteed. Audience, not a guarantee. This is just an idea I'm throwing out there. Maybe someday if we make a Patreon, we could like do reactions on there to like stuff that we've recommended each other, like actual reactions.
that could
But that's a
be.
big maybe because there's time and there's also other issues with that.
Yeah,
But that's a maybe. Just a thing I'm throwing out.
I mean, it's good to say that like 2 hours and 30 into a podcast recording, but
Exactly.
for the people who listen
Uh,
to it still, yeah.
and yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to do the game, or do you want to maybe save that for another episode where we could just do stuff like that?
What? What? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Attention. It was
You're
just
good. You're good. You're good.
starting off.
Do you still want to do? Do you still want to do the game, or do you think we should save that for another episode where we come back to gaming?
We are 2 hours 30 into the podcast, so I think
That's
we
what I
should.
figured too. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, do you want me to do the outro, or I do the?
you can do
You.
that.
I
You
was
can
gonna
do that.
say, do you want me to do the outro, or do you want me to do the outro?
Do
But I was trying to say, do you want to do the outro, or do you want me to do the outro?
just do you the outro. I'm
Okay.
beat and I'm tired.
All
I'm
right.
sorry
That's
if
fine.
I sound less energetic now because like with the
There's been a
recording
lot of
is
difficulties.
2 hours and 30, but I'm here for the last like 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's almost all on me. So, sorry for anyone who was annoyed by the technical difficulties if you're still listening. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you got to this far, make sure to do all the stuff, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all those things.
do all the good
And
stuff.
if you are interested in any of those games, then go play them out and maybe tell us what you think
Tell us what your
in the
favorite
comment.
game is, or if any of our
Yeah,
games is on your list of favorite games.
yeah, let us know. Uh, we have a TikTok. Didn't mention that in the last episode, but you can follow us on there if you want. If you just want a short form version of our content, which maybe I should have announced at the start instead, since I don't think we ever announced this.
Yeah.
We also have Twitter. You can follow us there. Follow us on. You can follow us specifically too on our platforms.
Yeah.
We tend to tweet fairly often. And
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you'll have a lovely day.
Yeah. And I don't have anything to add, so I just say bye bye from my part.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.